No, I'm just not drinking for this episode.
Okay. Well, I will, because I'm hungover and I believe in hair to the dog.
Yeah,
and you know what? I find Dubliner whiskey really helps me.
I like to think so. I like to think Dubliner whiskey helps anybody.
You know what I'm saying?
Anybody to feel better.
Absolutely.
So here's something that I think is important to know about me and this story as a whole. I lose things.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is.
Debates.
Oh, no, not debates. The streets know what the vibes is, but like I think
the Estonians know what's up.
Yo, you will not let that one go, man. You will not let that. I know you go pick Jamaica of all places.
Yeah,
man. I've been nuts.
Sound clash. Well,
no, I don't know. I think I'm just maybe naturally a little bit forgetful. I just get caught up in my own head. So if you'll see me, because like I've lost so many things over the years. You'll see me every 2 minutes. If resisting
tap in your pocket.
Tap in my pocket.
I'm over it. I just go into a room and just empty my shit. It's like that's how you lose stuff, and it won't stop.
It's like, because if you have a lot of stuff as well, if you have a lot of little tiny moving pieces, whatever. You know? So now my mom knew this about me. She knew that I had a tendency to lose things. So I think it was like, I think it was maybe Christmas. No, it was a random present. This is why it was really important. She got me this like very nice diesel bag. You know, it was on sale now, mind you.
Okay.
But she still spent like whatever amount of money. I think it was like 50 or 60 or something.
Oh man, like that's not no money. Like.
Yo, no, it's money. And she was like, look, if you lose this bag,
fuck you up.
I will fucking kill you.
Like,
you lost money, you lost phones, you lost all sorts of things, you idiot. She's like, no matter what you do, if you lose this bag, you're finished. You're dead.
Like multiple belts.
She had the belt, she was spinning it around like
from the buckle end. You know what I mean?
It's like, I'm about to fuck you up, man. Like, God love her, you know what I'm saying?
No, I know that once. I went through a phase of that and my mom was pressed.
But she's like, I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? It's hands.
On site. Green light.
Yo, these hands ready to eat for everyone.
Baptized.
So it's okay, it's cool. I'm like, Mama, chill. What's wrong with you? What's up, man? Like, I'm not gonna, you know?
Yeah.
I this time I was pushing back against the idea that I lose things a lot.
Yeah, because you didn't like that about yourself. Yeah.
So I had the bag, and you know, for a couple of months, easy sounds, you know, not bothering on us, you know, happy days. And you know me, I carry a bag with me everywhere. Because like everywhere I go, I have a spare jumper and a book. I take a lot of public transport. I like to read. I don't like to my phone too much, you know. If you guys have any book recommendations, get at me. So I go to session in Nace. Nace is like the 2 towns over from Keele.
Yeah, I know Nace, yeah.
So it's not really my ends or nothing. And mind you, I'm younger at the time. I think I must have been like 15 or 16.
Okay.
I go to session.
You're still local.
Still local, yeah. So I have a couple of friends there. We all meet up all that kind of stuff. You know, we go fishing for drink. We get drink. We're not even able to buy drink yet. You know what I'm saying?
Stand outside the O'Brien's. Yeah.
So man, I think it was maybe was it a Tesco, whatever. We got drinks. So we go to the field like near the canal in Nace, and the boys are like, one of the boys like, hey man, can I put like some of my drinks in your bag? I'm like, yeah, of course. Then like, oh, you can I put some smokes in your bag? I'm like, yeah, of course, not a bother. Okay, so go to session, and there's a lot of people there. Like, it's a good session. Maybe we're talking 50, 60
like a gaff
people.
party, like.
It's out in the field, man. You know,
yeah. Cool,
so, but it's a warm day. It was really nice, real cozy, all that kind of
in.
stuff. There's about like 50 or 60 people there.
Bit of alfresco drinking, absolutely.
You know, like hanging with some girls, culture. And now we were chatting, doing a little. And I dropped my bag down because to me,
yeah, you're kicking it. You stand beside it. I
don't want to have a backpack on my back the whole time, but also it's like. Well, at session, you're not going to steal a bag, you know. Like
plus, there's lots of cans. It's gonna weigh you down, man.
It's a mad thing. So I get quite tipsy. I get quite drunk, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I might go and I'm into doing some mischievous stuff. I'm not really around for a bit. I come back, poof, my bag is gone. So
that's overdue.
Oh, I only saw red.
Yeah.
No, like truly, I just only saw red. I'm like, what
Who the fuck?
Yeah. Who stole my bag? I'm really pissed off. I'm real pissed off.
How many people are there, do you reckon, now? Because if it was only like 12, then you could be like, yo, what do you
So a portion of people are gone. And I say, oh, let's say James.
Jono and his mates.
Yo, that's it. I think those boys stole your bag because I think they stole the drink and they took the whole bag with it. And I was like, look, you can steal the drink. You can steal the smokes.
Yeah.
Only thing I'm worried about is my mom raining savage
Fists.
beatings on me, bro. Yes. Like, that's it. That's all I care about. So I'm like, where are they? And like, oh, let me go text. Let me find out. So after a while, after a bit of searching, they kind of find out where these guys are going. So we're walking towards that location. And I'm like, for me, it's only violence at this stage.
Pumped, ready.
It's like,
somebody's getting a dick.
It's like hands. Like, I have to fight.
Yeah.
I have to fight to get my bag back, you know?
100%.
It is what it is. So we're walking and walking, looking for the guys. And we get to, I think, near Monterey Park. Finally catch up with them.
Yeah.
And my bag is not in sight. I'm like, which one of you motherfuckers stole my bag? You know what I'm saying? And like, what are you talking about? You getting cheeky with me? And there's let's say there's 3 of these dudes, yeah? You kind of find out. They like split out in like, let's say a tree formation, you know what I'm saying?
As in like Power Ranger formation.
They're like, it's kind of, I'm really too drunk and too angry to be paying attention. So I'm like, yo.
And you're young as well. You be missing
young,
those little.
So I'm a little boisterous,
you miss those little signals of like, I'm about to get it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm a little boisterous. I'm a little annoyed.
Animated,
a little drunk. I'm like, which one you motherfuckers stole my bag? I'm like, cursing him out. Yo, did you say? He's like, don't get fucking cheeky with me. So this guy squares up to me, right? And this is my classic problem. I always make this mistake. I'm too focused on someone I think I can beat up. I'm like, this guy here in front of me, I can beat him up. I can take him. As me and Stu are having our square off, you know, like head pressed up against each other. His friend side of my head.
Nah. Bitch move. Absolute sucker. Sucker punch the side of you.
In the ear. ear.
Oh, man.
So my shit ringing. I'm like,
them ones we just see white in the colours and all. Oof.
Like I can't hear nothing. It's like that white noise sound.
You just did that fucking, what's his name? Fucking Shaggy Doo.
He told me, and like sometimes you get a hit where you're like, okay, I need to actually, the anger leaves your body a little bit because reality jumps back in. And I'm like, I actually can't beat up these 3 dudes, believe it or not, by myself.
You're gonna have to try.
And I'm just like, yo, I saw my fucking bag, like my ear, holding my ear.
Yeah,
like,
that puts some manners on you.
It's like, hey man, I just want my bag, please.
Yeah. Little attitude adjustment there.
And then they're like, I was like, I don't care about a drink. I don't care about alcohol.
Okay, with smokes.
I just want the bag. And I think they're like, we'll get you a fucking bag. Piss off, you know? I was like,
so they did take it.
They did take it. They took it for the drink and the smokes, which is once again, listen, you caught me lacking. It's drinks and smokes. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, whatever though.
That's a diesel bag. That was 65 quid. You know, I still remember the price of it because my mom stressed. It was 65 quid when we got it. So I went home.
Looking at the tail when it was rung up and all, like, saying that 65.
And especially because, you know, especially as a kid, there's nothing worse than someone being able to tell you, I told you so. It burns you. It really burns you up for some reason.
That age, you're getting I told you so's left, right, and center.
So I didn't want to give her this. So they said, we'll get you a fucking bag. And then I think my friend who kind of knew them was like, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. So I go home, get the bus home. Man's like, where's your bag? I'm like,
left in friends.
So don't worry about it. It's still there. It's all good. It's all good, man. I'll get it back. I had to hit up my friend who knew one of the kind of older lads in Nace. Not even the older lads, one of the lads who can give proper hands. Hey, can you connect with these boys so I can get my bag back?
Yeah.
And I think it takes like 2 months. It takes 2 months of ask. Because they're like 2 towns over. I'm in school and stuff, so it's like, it's real. I don't even know those boys properly, so it's like my friend hitting up his friend to hit up them. It's like back and forth.
Yeah.
Then my friend eventually gets the bag. And then like, no, his friend eventually gets it back. Eventually gets to my friend, and then after a while, I get it off him. So 2 months later, finally, I get my bag back. I'm thinking, God, they're gonna have done something to this. They're like something, you know. They would have fucked up in some way, like whatever, any kind of shit.
Or a piston or something.
Open the bag. It's fine for the most part. I didn't see anything wrong. Open the bag's clear out. Everything's gone. But there's a note in the front. There's a note in the front of the bag.
What's it saying?
It says, thanks for the drinks and smokes.
Little rat bastards.
After punching me in the ear, you know.
Drinking your drink, taking your shit. Bro.
Thanks for the drinks and smokes. They really sunned me.
Stunted on you. They absolutely sunned you.
They really fucked up my shit.
They sun-zooed you.
But on the bright side,
you didn't get the hands to your ma.
I went home. I was really showy with the bag. I was like,
yeah.
Fucking shit, boss.
But I would rather take, at that age, 3 beatings off young fellas than go home. Because like getting it from your mum and dad, it's then the disappointment. You gotta live with them. If somebody kicks the head off you in the street, you might not see them for like a couple of weeks or a couple of days or whatever like that. And it is what it is. It's not great, but like the one in your gaff, man.
It's bad, man. You gotta see it, and you gotta come eat dinner that same day.
Yeah.
You gotta eat dinner and still be like kind of upset.
And they
So
hold that
hard.
with you forever, man. Do your man still think you forget shit all the time?
Oh yeah.
Do you still forget shit all the time?
No, that's why it's so.
Bro, I tell you, I must have
uncalled
went like
for.
1 year where I didn't close the top of like the 2 liter Coke.
Ah, you're dumb.
And every time someone's like, that 7-Up's after going flat, Carl, you don't have to fucking close that properly. I'm like, no, it's not me. It's not, because I actually don't drink that anymore. But it's me, forever and ever, amen.
You're like, I don't even live here anymore.
Yeah, it's like
you
I
still.
haven't lived here in years.
It's
like,
you still.
So, yeah, but it's mad. Like, you still have all this like flat minerals in the gaff. But I haven't been here in 6 years. I haven't even been physically in the house for 2 years. So, you know what I'm saying?
Why are you making them
Get
shit
off my
about me?
back. What song are we talking about?
So-
this lesson learned.
The song, I'm so thrilled about it, right? Because I went out to Nace. I went on this session for one reason. Girls. I'm fucking 15, 16.
The reason you get out of bed in the morning at that age.
Reason for everything. So I'm playing the song. Someone pointed out the issue with the song out to me very recently.
Okay.
So you know in the song, Where the Girls At by Flo Rida.
Yeah.
The song starts
Kinda.
out, so many girls in here, where do I begin?
Right.
And later in the song it says, where the girls at? Which is a direct contradiction.
Oh, right. He's like, yeah. It's like, there's so many girls in here. Where are the girls at? It's like, bro, you're in the men's room. Please, like, you know
It's
what I mean?
so-
Go back to the dance floor.
You're at the wrong. You're at the Mango and Math Match show. There's no girls here. Bro.
Ah, you stop, bro. The pangest women, the best women.
Yo,
the,
the most brolic women. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. All sorts come to my gig.
Yo.
All shapes and sizes. The maddest and weirdest and freakiest people.
All five of them.
Walk.
All
All
five of those
all
girls.
walk in this city. Come to my shows. And
Okay.
that's what I enjoy.
So that's my song.
Flow Rider?
Flo Rida.
Bro,
Where
you
the
be drinking
girls
some
at?
ass songs, but
Yo, what you? We're gonna get into that in a
Okay.
second. Cheers.
Salud.
Hey, bring it on, baby, all your friends, you the and I love that body. You wanna ball explicit, I swear you're good, I won't tell nobody. You gotta be FF, I wanna see that girl, it's all women invited. Hair do's and nails, that Louis Chanel, all up in the party. Presidents in my wallet, no rules, I'm bout it. Blow the whistle for the hottest. I got it. Shorty, it's never too much, keep me doing too much. 10 to 1 of me, I can handle that love. Bottles in my reach, we can all get buzzed. Holla, 'cause I'm
I'm gonna say why Flo Rida has the optimal music career.
okay.
Okay. So for one,
I'll tell you who's better than Flow Rider at being Flow Rider, but go on.
who?
Pitbull.
They're the same.
Yeah, but Pitbull's better than Flow
They're
Rider.
yin and yang. They're both garbage, actually.
Pitbull's not garbage.
Pitbull's absolutely
Bro,
garbage.
he has made some music that is cheeks, but I was still, bro. On my Debs, they played a Pit, I can't remember what it was. They played a Pitbull tune like 5 times in the night, and just every time it was just ringing off, bro. And I remember Pitbull back when he was making, what was that tune when he was doing all the reggaeton? Was it Kulo?
Mango.
You ever hear that one?
Mango.
Bro, he's a rapper. And then he decided, he was like, do you know what? I'm not going to be some Puerto Rican mixtape rapper. I am going to, and do you know what? I have no problem if you sell out. If you go for it. Like, if you Pitbull, he turned around and was like, my life is going to be forever and ever, amen, blessed. He was like, give me the David Guetta tunes. Let's fucking go. And just owned it.
Mango. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the. How are we even talking?
No.
How are we even talking? How
Flow
we?
Rider's got the hits, bro. I remember taking Flow Rider's mobile number down when he said it on Irish radio. Do you remember that?
No, you
Flow
said.
Rider was in Ireland on some promo tour when that shit came out, and he gave out his phone number on fucking thing, and people were texting him.
Pitbull versus Flo Rida would be a great versus.
It would.
It would be a great
It would be
versus.
fucking cheeks.
But what I'm saying is, I think he has the best music career because, for one, like, you're filthy rich, right?
Yeah,
You have big songs.
yeah.
But I think most importantly, you don't have fans in the way a Justin Bieber or a Drake or a Taylor Swift has fans. You get me?
Yeah,
You don't have that obsessive nature. I feel like, truly, if we saw Flo Rida walking down the street, people walking down the street, like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, fist bump.
That's
Happening.
it. It's easy. It's easy because I think you get to a certain level of success, either
So it's getting creepy.
it starts getting it's
Weird,
very
man.
full
The
on.
Taylor
man.
Swift people, like, I don't know if I can mention, but there's an Irish journalist who had to make a whole new Twitter because she gave Taylor Swift's latest album an 8 out of 10.
Was that the one from Joe Dai?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, he got Dave. Dave got something else. He pissed somebody else off. No, Daft Punk.
Oh yeah.
He pissed off Daft Punk people. It was like Random Access Memories. It's grand. It's no discovery. And like people to like To this day, are still like even up until like they actually broke up, we're still emailing him about that fucking article.
No,
remember Lankum like said Taylor Swift copied our album cover, bro. Like 2 days straight saying, and these are like Taylor Swift fans, like straight saying horrendous out of pocket stuff. People like that. Nicki Minaj's fans.
Don't even say
BTS.
her name. Don't even say her name. Don't even say her name. Relax.
Yo, chill.
I don't want no smoke.
I don't need no barbs on my back.
Honestly, man.
I'll take Swifties. No bother. I don't give a fuck.
You can't fuck with people who are on the internet too much. They'll win. You can't beat people who are on the internet like that.
Yeah, and they're just all faceless, and they just have Taylor Swift in their bio on their picture.
Kill
It's like,
you.
so go outside, man. Do you know what I mean?
Touch grass, man.
I love music so much, and I've said this to other musicians. Where I said it to a friend of mine, Kitten. I was doing a live with her a while ago, and like she's from different side of the world. She's from LA, and I was like, people like me and you, when we hear music that we love, I really feel like we react to it different. I feel like it's music that we love sounds different in our head than the average person. Like it just does something more to us. And even saying that, there's never been one artist that I would full on like destroy somebody online for, knowing that person doesn't even know who the fuck I am.
Was there any stage of your life where you had an artist that you would have done that for? Not now.
No, it was never that. I mean, I was like super obsessed with like big artists at the time, where I was like, I need to buy the newest record, I need to buy the clothes, I need to fucking like get the mixtapes and all the joints, just be super interested in their lives. Like one for me would have been G Unit. Like, and it's kind of laughable now, but like at the time, how huge they were, and it was because they were possibly one of the biggest, or definitely the most accessible New York gangster rap crews that Ireland had ever seen. Because before that, Dipset had a bit of a buzz, but they weren't huge in Ireland.
Yeah.
Rockefeller had things, but it wasn't huge in Ireland.
Acceptable gangster rap at the time, because now people
Mars were driving around. Did you hear them go?
Yeah.
Go shot. Like my mom was listening to 21 Questions, but like I heard 50 Cent, and I was like, right, I need to get Power of the Dollar. I had Lloyd Banks, Hunger for More, Straight Outta Cashville, Young Buck. The Olivia, I think I even bought Little Scrappy, who they only fucking signed for one thing. They had Mobb Deep, MOP on the label, Spider Loke. They signed Mace at one stage. I remember just like getting like Double XL would have them on. I would fucking buy it, and I would get all the first thing I did when I ever went to New York for the first time was I went straight down to Canal Street and I bought all the DJ Who Kid mixtapes. Like G-Unit Radio.
There are some people listening to this podcast because of me, and they have no fucking idea any of the stuff you're talking about right now.
I know,
I
it's
find
crazy.
It so funny.
It's
man.
hilarious, isn't it? Like
It's gas.
buying like DJ mixtapes. Like people say a mixtape now for like a thing that they put together, but no, mixtape was literally like DJs would put them together. I bought the G-Unit Reebok runners. I went and I got the Echo tops. I had the computer game. I went to go see the film. Like one of my first big
That game
gigs.
was heat.
It was great.
That game was heat. Made no fucking sense
at all. It was just to shoot them up, and everybody was mad brolic for some reason. It was like 50, like you dench, but you're not that dench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember going and seeing 50 Cent in the Point Depot years ago, and it was like honestly one of the best rap gigs I've ever been to in my life. It was huge production. Everybody there except Tony Ayo, because he was locked up at the time. 50 Cent shot out of cannons, fake $1
Plus,
bills.
Tony Ayo was like the most disposable.
I have a lot of time for Tony Ayo.
Yeah, because you're a fan. But I mean, if you had to get rid of one of them.
Okay, of the core group
Yes.
that was on the Beg for Mercy album. The Beg for Mercy was the first G-Unit album.
Okay,
so that was 50, Lloyd, Young Buck, Tony Ayo. I would, absolutely.
Let's
no.
get Tony in this. Pull him over there.
Let me just say this now. Lloyd Banks is extremely slept on as a rapper.
Lloyd Banks
might be one of the pound for pound punchline rappers ever.
If you're talking rapper, Lloyd Banks is a better rapper than 50 Cent. I don't know about musician, but talking rap.
50 Cent is a hook machine. Great story, charismatic, out the fucking yang.
Yeah.
But fucking Lloyd Banks, when you talk about, oh man, I remember he was like, I get my shit popping like 10 gold chains. I have your bitch blowing on me like Nintendo games. I was like, what the fuck, bro? His the bars he used to throw, like especially I used to get all the I would go on to beemp3.com. Right, I couldn't do peer to peer because my dad. I got LimeWire once, and I had on a laptop, like a shitty laptop, and like I fucking ruined it.
Oh yeah.
And my dad was like, "What did I tell you about peer to peer?" I was like, "Okay, fair." So then I had to figure. I was only talking this with T last night. I was like, I had to figure out there's EMP3, BMP3. Oh, let me get that drink there for you.
God bless. Thank you, boys.
We got a little food delivery.
I know, yeah. But these guys aren't paying us like Dubliner whiskey. Nah,
No
no free
free.
clout, nigga. No free clout.
Like figuring out like what like because there was no like this is web 1.0. I was just trying to guess in the search like raw dog in the fucking search bar.
Don't say raw dog in the search bar.
No, like the raw dog in the address bar. I wasn't even googling shit. I was just in the address bar like free mp3.com. I was like, okay, that looks mad dodgy. Okay, this mp3.com. Like, and eventually I found some shit. Like do you remember on LimeWire all the fake songs that you would download?
Yeah, it was a Soulja Boy all the time.
No, but do you remember the Bill Clinton one?
Huh?
Do you remember there was like this one, and it was like because I was told about LimeWire from my cousins John and Jerry out in Blanche, and they were the first people to play me the Chronic 2001. They're also the first people to show me the Dave Chappelle Rick James skit. I had no idea who Rick James was, and I was in tears, like as a kid, like tears. But they were like, yeah, it's LimeWire. You just type in whatever you want and you get it. And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, look, Metallica, blah, 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 blah. That's how they all got me into all mad sorts of music. And I download it, but then you download it and I would get this thing, and this one voiceover would be like, I did not have sex with that woman, but I did download all of my MP3s at .com. I was like, and it was so annoying because they would actually make the track like 3 minutes long or however long it was, and that was rife in LimeWire. Every time I was trying to fucking get something, I also got rickrolled once. I bought I tried to get Gorillaz. What's their one where they're all, it's not the first album? What's the one they're all on the islands in the front? It's not Demon Days. Something Paradise. Plastic Beach. I was like, yo, let me check this. This is back in the days when I hadn't a fucking washer to my name, and you could literally just turn around and go, oh, what was the website? Oh, Sam, what was the website you could fucking just? What was it? It was like a file sharing site, so it wasn't Zippy Share. What was the fucking one for albums that you got?
Look at you turning to Doug and them. Like, this might be a little bit before us, man. So I was just,
I was YouTube to MP3 pretty much. I didn't have LimeWire at any point.
No, there was like one. There was one website where you could just
like that Mega movie. They had files sometimes.
It was on that kind of buzz, but there was one website, and I'm trying to think of it the rest of my time.
You throw me a chip, boss.
No, take one of mine, bro.
Thank you.
Take a few there,
Appreciate it.
bastard. But literally, you just like in the address bar, search album name, artist, and then just that website, and it was just like everything. That's why my music knowledge is so great. I feel bad illegally downloading every shit, but at the same time, I was still going to HMV and paying like 30 quid for a CD.
No, but also
they got too greedy with the fucking
that was
prices.
also back when like musicians were rich off that shit because they had actually physical copies.
I was looking at Lil Wayne in a pile of money, being like, don't illegally download my shit.
Now with streaming, the least you can do is fucking stream shit. Like that's the bare
least
minimum.
Is like let it run for 30 seconds, bro. Let me get paid.
Matter of fact, give me some money, bust me €1 anyways, man.
Watch the video and leave the YouTube ads on. Don't just turn off ad blocker.
Yeah, man, like do something, man. But like back then, when you had physical copies, if somebody dick, bro, you almost steal your CD. But wait, here's my question, because I find it really interesting. Because we actually got really nicely sidetracked. It was an interesting story, but I find it really interesting. The kind of I feel like there's such a fine line, but very thin between being a fan of someone and being obsessive, like being obsessively a fan of someone. And what do you think what's like a marker that you've crossed that line? Have you ever had anyone cross that line with you?
I don't know. I think maybe there's people who've got maybe overly familiar with me.
People love getting overly familiar. They love
like
being
people who like message me all the time, every story, react to everything, and you're like, I don't want to be bad.
And not even sexy, are they? It's like ugly people messaging you, disgusting.
Clapped. God. No, it's like that. It's we look at it and you're just like, why are you like why me? Like, bro, I got a job as well.
I think you're buddies, man.
But yeah, it's like I've never been that. That's not obsessive. And here's the thing: my sister was flat to the mat in Westlife, flat to the mat in a boys' own. Take that, all those 2000s, late 90s boy bands. She was never like had the posters on the wall, but was never like screaming on like their life and like this is all I cared about and all. So she was really into the tunes, thought they were cool, thought they were sexy, and like that was it. But this shit of like how dare you speak ill of their name? That's some new shit that didn't exist.
But
For my generation, that didn't exist.
But I think people these days have the tools to be obsessive. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were,
you have so much more access to an artist's life.
you can just message someone up. I tell you, I used to work security, right? I used to work for a security company.
Get the fuck.
Yeah.
What are you securing?
Fuck you. What the fuck's that supposed to mean, man?
No, like, I mean, there's people I see who are like, I work in security. You're like, of course you do. You just told me you were afraid to get hands off 3 young fellas.
I wasn't afraid. I was also like fucking 15, nigga.
Right.
Wait, listen. First of all, I definitely have the fitness to be a guard. If I could be a guard in theory, I could be a fucking security guard. We all have to be huge. You know what I'm saying? All have to be hinged.
Being a guard and being a security guard is completely different. You'd fight a security guard. You wouldn't fight a guard.
I'd fight a guard before a security guard.
No.
Those guys would. Fam, have you ever been to fucking Crystal or Dicey's where like those guys there, the security guards there for some reason.
This game, they're even worse.
Two cracked skulls.
Them security guards live for a scrap.
Oh, 100%. But
they're sweating for a scrap.
They bump into you.
Yeah.
Fam, I remember one time I was hosting a work event in Crystal, so I came there to get set up before.
I seen you that night.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you came down that night.
Yeah,
Erica came down and everything. So this guy was like kind of being
Because I'm never in Crystal, by the way, and I was like just there. I think because we messaged you, it was like, "Yo, you're out. What's the story?" And you were like, "Come true."
I got you guys free in. You know what I'm saying? I got Erica in that VIP list. But anyways, so this guy was drunk and he was leaving the place, a bit rowdy like. So he was leaving the place. He said something to one of the security guards, and they looked at each other. Your man crosses the road on the other side, is walking home. They cross the road and follow him and beat the shit out of him.
You know why? Because they went on the fucking cameras in front of the club. That's why.
Okay. But to me, the fact that like he's not even causing you trouble. He's left. He's crossed the road. He's walking away. You followed him to go give him hands. Nuts. I would assume the fight because I know a guard will only like maybe not, especially if cameras around.
You can't have a fair one with a guard because if he loses, he calls back up and you go to prison.
That's true.
If I have a knock off a security guard and I get a better of him, I can just walk away. I'm barred out.
But you're not getting the better of him. That's why these guys are nuts.
You never know, bro.
But anyways, the story is first of all, you think you could be a security guard is wild. You're a wild boy.
Security guard.
Pardon?
I've had fights with security guards before, bro.
Like nightclub ones?
Yeah. Like it's kicked off. Like somebody's fighting and they try to break shit up and then try to get, or somebody said some mad shit to me, and I've been like, you know what? I'm drunk enough to not let that go. Or, you know, some bouncers have like said some shit. Like I remember one time I went out of a nightclub for a cigarette, had half of my drink in my hand, went back and he was like, "No, not tonight, boss." I was like, "What are you talking about?" My coat. I'm looking at my coat through the window. He's like, "No." I got mad urge and he brought another pair. I was like, "What are you bringing him over for?" It's like, I have like, where did you think I got this fucking drink in my fucking hand? And your man's like, no. And it was just a bit older. And I was like, "Do you know what? Fuck this, man. You've just decided by the look at me, I don't fucking like you and I don't want you in here. Because what, you're fucking bored? You're here to make things fucking secure and all that. You have a breezy job when the nightclub is fucking run well and there's good patrons. All you have to do is make sure no rowdies get in and nobody gets out of line in here. Don't start in fucking shit, right? Don't blame me because your life's boring. Do you know what I mean? Go play football. Go hit the gym. Do you know what I'm saying? But your man got mad argy-bargy and then, you know, when they put the hand on the chest and like press in, to be like, no, you're not getting in. I was like, right, well, how am I going to get my fucking jacket then? Blah, blah, blah. He then steps my shoes and like kind of pushes me back. And I was like, and we went at it. No, I got my jacket back.
You win?
I got my jacket back.
Listen. Cut!
Listen. I didn't get like bundled. I didn't get like, left in a, you know, little square ball fucking Robot Wars job just like thrown down the side of a fucking yoke. Because that, like, I know what you mean. A lot of security guards, they've really tough jobs and they deal with a lot of bullshit. And they're the cold face to like the worst cunts.
Coke.
And fights and people and gargle. Sorry, gargle makes people fight. It's the gargle first and the coke and the fucking, you're just a bunch of fucking rowdy gobshites. Like, they're the cold, like, whatever about bar staff and all that, but they're the cold face to like not let the arseholes in, so they have to deal with all that. So it is a tough job.
Yeah. But
see them ones that just are like, no, I'm starting a fight tonight because like that's my whole like thing about who I am is that I'm a goer and I'll show people. It's like, bro, I'm not willy waving with you here. I literally came out for a fight and I wasn't even like mad drunk. I wasn't being loud or anything like that. It was just me and like one other friend just having a fag like in front of him. Like it wasn't like we dipped off. We thought we were like mad out of head or anything like that. I was mad on a chill one. That's why, like, and I talked to him for about 5 minutes, being like, no, man, this is something else. Like, you think I'm maybe another dude, which I doubt because I'm very unique looking.
I think
blah,
you're
blah, blah.
rough and tough, man. But anyways, back to my regaling tales as a security guard.
Talk to me. I would have
Which I
washed
was.
you, bro.
Let me
tell you
right
that now.
Young Daffy, you ain't giving him hands, bro. He about it. Thank you. God bless, sir. So I was working at One Direction. Mind you, I'm fucking like, I mostly did the steward
Hold
shit.
on, you stewarding or are you doing security?
It was a security company.
That's not what I asked.
What was the question?
Were you high vis this way, sir? Keep it moving.
Depends.
Or were you like holding the line?
Depends which event.
All right. This fella did
I don't know. Oh, listen,
Come
man.
on.
No,
You're checking wristbands,
no,
bro.
No,
Relax.
no. Nigga, no, you're not doing that. I forbidden fruit. I had to fight niggas. Stop them coming in. I was stepping on people's heads. Don't disrespect me like that, bro.
Okay.
I had to fight these 15-year-olds,
Let me
right?
see your ID.
Yeah. How old are you? Yeah. Come on, keep it moving. Did you have to do the hand tap? Pat down?
Fam, no, I was on the perimeter. So people tried to like run into the festival, like jump over the fences. I was tackling motherfuckers, bro. I was really about it.
You actually were stopping people from sneaking
I
in.
tackled these children. They weren't like mad adults or nothing. They weren't like big dudes. I fought some 16-year-olds. I had to give them hands right
I would
quick.
have turned you the head. I
I'd
would have turned it away.
Popped them one time, man.
Look, if you wanted to hop a wall, you're allowed in. That's my view.
Hey man, I'm not getting fired for these little fucking shitty kids. These little shitty Dublin kids. Fuck them. Fuck them and fuck you.
Okay, so you're at the security.
Oh, okay. We're all over the place today, but I fucking love it. So I'm at the thing, and I'm at the stage for One Direction. Make sure none of these girls get too frisky with the boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd say that's a tough job now.
Yeah, man. Let's get
Security at One Direction.
Yo, I had
Poking around a lot of 13-year-old young
mush
ones.
some of these girls. Mush like, yep. Get back, motherfucker! Step away. No, not really.
A little bit though.
There was no, never. But there was massive like like girls like fainting, all sorts of shit, having to be like carried over. So these group of girls at the front, right? They're a bit older looking. You know what I'm saying? Like at the time, I'm 18. They look about my age group and shit like that. So like we talk. We talked the first day.
Oh, never off the job, and I respect that, bro.
They love a man in uniform, a bit of high vis.
Yeah, sure. Slacks and a pair of shoes.
They love the slacks, clean looking. So we're talking the first day. They're from fucking Spain, right? And we're having a chat, all this kind of stuff, very briefly. Not too nuts, right? The festival happens, all this kind of stuff. They ask, "Oh, can I keep my bag there? You keep your bag there, all this kind of shit."
Yeah.
Grand. One Direction playing in the Tree Arena 3 days. Day 2, they're there again.
Hold on. For the same gig again.
The same gig, second day. I didn't say nothing. I'm like, okay, it's cool. We're having a little chat. They're enjoying it. Your man, I think Harry put like a crown on my head or some shit. I'm like, I will break your shit.
I will snap your ankles.
I will crack your cheeks, nigga. I mean, I will break your ankles.
I'm saying, with One Direction to James Street Hospital, you fucking do that again. So.
But whatever, cool. Talk to them. Yeah, these like 3-4 Spanish girls. Day 3. They're there again. Mind you, they're front row, which means they're queuing outside to get
early
front
doors,
row.
bro.
Early. So I go.
They're the ones mushing 13-year-olds out of the way.
This is why I gotta go ask them. Like, hey man, listen. You guys have been here all 3 days. What's going on? What's the crack? They're like,
super into them.
We're from Spain. Their parents are rich. They are following One Direction around Europe.
Get
Their
the
European tour.
fuck.
They are going to every single show and chasing them niggas around Europe, around the continent. Like that to me is
How is that fun?
That's obsessive. Like even if you're not toxic or like telling people internet they should kill themselves, no matter what it is, that's not obsessive.
Okay. Like even like
weird.
okay, I get it might be fun, like you're really into a band, you might do one date as they do a tour around somewhere, you're like, fuck it, like the gigs are really fun, blah blah blah. But you there 3 nights in a row, and you know them pops at those fucking gigs, they're choreographed to like the second. It's like going to the cinema 3 nights a week and seeing the same film. That's not even interesting.
No, it's not.
Like, shout out to Dave Hanratty, bro. 5 days.
I was about to mention
Bro,
that.
I met him
Yeah.
on night 3.
Now, mind you, I've been trying not to mention Dave because we have podcast beef. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He hates because me and him send voice messages all the time.
All right. He's a great dude, man.
He's so
He's
fucking
so
funny.
cool.
I love that guy, but
Yeah.
like I know he hates how we're doing this. Podcast beef, don't listen to no encore. If you listen to Mango versus Math Man, no encore is garbage. Fuck them guys. Yo,
Mango versus Madman?
shit, sorry, Max versus Mango. Boys,
This motherfucker.
boys, I'm a bit dazed now, man. I had a long shift today.
It's okay. Look, Dave was great, but I seen him on night 3. I was in...
I thought you were at picture this.
No. I was walking by. Who was I with? I was in the Workman's or something. with my mate Lee, and what's the sidebar all the actors are in? What's it called? Bison.
That's where all the actors go.
Bro, there, and then there's another pub down the quays off, just around the corner from, it's on the north side, just beside the Wiley Fox, just up a bit, beside the comedy shop. There's another bar, I can't remember, my mate Lee always brings me there, but there and Bison Bar, always full of actors.
Yeah, I saw one of the Dairy Girls in Bison Bar actually.
I'm saying, it's their booze, because it's around the corner from that theatre on the quays as well.
Oh, like Smock Alley or something?
Yes, yeah. So it's just kind of like a local thing, and the reason the other one is because it's really close to the Abbey.
Okay.
And there is also a theatre upstairs in that other building, I think still. It's a mad building. I need to find the name of it because it's actually a hotel. Then I went down. It has like decorations all over it, and then I went to use the toilet. There's only like one toilet. It's kind of half a restaurant.
You're talking about the Wiley Fox or Soundhouse?
No. It's like it's just before you turn to the Abbey, right? Beside the Salvation Army kind of area, right? And I went downstairs and I was like, oh, there's a toilet down in the basement. I was like, all right, cool. It's a hotel, like, you know, one of these like little 3-star jobs, right? And I went down, and as I'm going into the toilet, I looked through like this door. It has like a little sliver of a window, and there's loads of these fucking Asian businessmen with strippers flying around. I was like, what the? I went up, I was like, he was like, oh yeah, strip club in the bottom. I was like, I was like, this is a hotel, a theatre, a boozer, like, amazing. North end of the city. Never fails. But I was in Bison Bar.
Listen, man. I had to hold it down after you abandoned us. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. I feel it in my bones.
And you know what? It's getting really lit. Bro,
Northside has always been lit. You've just been in the Northside long enough to feel.
No, because everyone's migrated. But I think people are copping on, like, you know what I'm saying, that catching themselves on. Because all the Southside beaches are shite, anyways.
Yeah. Portmarnock Beach is stunning.
Even at Clontarf, like all the beaches Northside.
Facts.
Bulls, and everyone's flying up, and I live quite near to the beach, so people are like, let me come over north side.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to get my permission, I get my blessing.
You can get the hood pass,
man. You don't get the hood pass from me, you might get touched. I don't want no one to get touched. I want people to stay safe, so me and my security friends might have to,
me and the Hoyvit's crew.
You
might have to check that wristband.
Might have to, check your ID, boss. You're not allowed any liquids.
What was you saying about Bison Bar? We completely forgot about that.
Obsession and celebrity, people being.
This makes for great audio, by the way.
Look, I think we're all over the place today, but in like a really fun kitsch kind of way, man.
Microphone there.
I don't know. Is there anything topical you want to talk about?
Yo, Jeff Bezos, stay in space. Fuck you.
You hear he's technically not an astronaut anymore.
How come?
Because
he's not a fucking astronaut, he's a trillionaire. Who's a fucking rich cunt who decided to fuck himself into the air. We're all supposed to clap.
It was something like the like classification for being an astronaut was you had to go like above 50 miles. And
he only went into like a certain...
He went 62. He went over, but they changed the rules like yesterday, and they're like you have to be doing something.
Yeah.
You can't just go there.
Fuck you, Jeff Bezos. What's the other British fella?
Richard Branson.
Yeah, you Kentucky Fried Colonel looking motherfucker. Fuck you too, man. Straight up.
Yeah, I agree.
You're getting into space, bro. Your trains don't even work in England.
You went to 10 so quick, but
no, train over in England. The Virgin ones, they're fucking bullshit, and the price out the numbers.
First of all, I ain't riding on I said Virgin thing. I get pussy.
Bro, yo, big up my man Jay Hollowell out there right now on the billboard thing, man. Making that shmoney. We see you, brother.
Yo, first of all, shout out to any artist that gets money and making music. But also, man, how it...
You gonna start beefing this podcast?
I'm never gonna start beef for anyone,
right,
with anyone black. Say, hear that, Adam? Anyone black?
Gawked over at that, Adam. It's like, yeah, your number's up, brother.
Listen, man. No, but no,
do you know what was it? I'll give him this though. Do you remember in Marks and Spencer's years ago? I never used to go to Marks and Spencer's, but the odd time we go to Liffey Valley when it just opened, and we go into the Marks and Spencer's and they had Virgin Cola. Did you ever have that?
No, is it good?
Banging. Oh, unbelievable. I wouldn't want to. We were going over for something stupid over there, like a B&Q or something like that. I was like, can we stop into Marks and Spencer's, get that Virgin? It was only £1. Shit was banging.
I must try it.
But Richard Branson, all these fucking rich motherfuckers going into space, like Jeff Bezos. There is so, and then fucking necking them talking about like, oh, the climate and all. You're burning.
Wait, pause.
Jet fuel to fuck yourself in the air.
Pause. You fucking see what his first idea was when he got back. Instead of coming back and being like, oh wow, this new fucking perspective on how precious the planet is and everything. He came back, he was like, we need to start putting factories on the moon.
Wait, pause.
We need to kill that man immediately.
Let me say one thing real quickly. Back to the Virgin Media thing. It's just like, who are they marketing? Because I used to do marketing, so the idea of like the fastest rapper and the fastest internet. I think there was a very cool, natural way for Virgin to do that partnership and not like try make it some gimmicky shit. Because I feel like that doesn't give Jay his fair dues. That was just my point.
Well, I've only seen the outdoor, like physical. Have they done like a TV ad?
There's an ad, there's a song. The song to me is fucking actually great.
Okay, well there you go. Because all I've seen, it's literally when you walk home from here, is I see JLOL. I'm like, it's just a picture of him beside the Virgin logo, and it says fast rapper.
Fast rap. The ad is like fastest rapper part stop with the
Is
fastest
he the fastest
internet.
rapper in Ireland?
Who would be faster than him?
There used to be loads of lads down in Cork.
Oh, we about to go hip hop.
No, but
boy.
like I just remember like there used to be these guys and like their whole thing. I loved it about Cork. They had their own little style, where it was like, like sometimes to the detriment of the story and of the
It always
flow.
is. It always is. It always is.
It was all about flow. Even to the rhymes, be a little take if they could go. Was it
those three fellas? Those three boys.
No, not the grime dudes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what happened to them, bro? They came in Boston and then just dipped. They were great.
Some shit don't have longevity in the same way.
You know what? Those were just three lads who went like, "Come on, we go out the woods. I'm gonna make a grime tune." And I went bass, and they were like, yeah, "I'm actually not into rapping."
No, they did it again. The thing is, like, I think you have to get past, like, because obviously that's the style of music you love. That's the style of music I really enjoy.
They have fucking bars and flows.
No,
man.
but it's about building an audience outside that like one thing. Like the amount of musicians who like release their like first song or like their third song and blows up on Spotify and like everyone loves it and like it gets playlisted and then they can't do it again. Down. Listen, nigga, I'm down right now, bro. It's like it's hard to keep your highs.
The quicker the rise, the quicker the fall. Because here's the thing, right? And I was talking about like my other radio show. I know I do this all the time.
You wouldn't let me play my own song on this show.
No, but I don't. But everybody knows you're in fucking Tabby Rex, bro. I asked how ticket sales are going.
But they
right
might
now.
not, hear it. You know what's funny though? Sorry, on the side thing, I met my friend Owen, who's like the stylist, right?
Oh yeah, Owen.
She
best.
She refused to listen to any of our shit. She's like, it's a sound. She heard something a year or two ago. It's like, it's very white. I don't like it. It's very pop. It's very corny. I don't like it. I'm like, if you could just, she's like, no. Then one day, she finally listened to Robin Season. She's like, hey, this is really, you guys are really good. I'm like, I've been fucking telling you this, listen to, you know what I'm saying? Give me a chance.
I know.
It's not everyday pop shit. Sometimes I might do.
Sometimes I have that, like, people are like, oh, you still at the rapping now. I'm like, you've never even listened to a syllable out of my mouth.
Facts.
And they're like, oh, I don't know if it'd be for me. I'm like, give it a go. But at the same time, what I was going to say about the show that I have, it's like, just while I was here, I glanced on my phone. I seen somebody hitting the Patreon there, right? But I don't do mad numbers. I don't do crazy numbers at all. But I slowly but surely carve out a little corner of the internet for myself. And you know what? Those motherfuckers will rock with you. Unless you do some fucked up shit and it's like, whoa, no. Like, they'll rock with you. But, like, I'm guilty of just being like, yo, this is a hot song. I love this shit. And then 2 years later, I'd be like, all right, well, I haven't really heard from you, so... Like, I really don't care.
But that's not on you. That's on the artist to keep your attention there.
Exactly. Where I'm saying is, if you go straight, but it's harder the higher you go to keep that bang. Like, people like, that's why it's a 1 in a million shot. But people can be like working class musicians, and in the way of that, like, I can just sell enough tickets to just keep my fucking lights on and keep going, and people will love me. And you know what? I don't have to appeal to the masses because I've already garnered these people who just like what I do and what I like. Just keep playing for them and keep it rocking. Like people like Damien Dempsey, right? Damien Dempsey knows who the fuck listens to him. He goes touring, he plays to Irish people around the world. He comes to Dublin, he does his Vicar Street shows, he makes the music he makes, it's folk and all that stuff. He's not trying to chase a big #1 hit.
Yeah.
And he's good because he's like, I have my lane, that's it. And I think Aslan have that. I think Mango Matman have a bit of that, of kind of like, do you know what? We aren't, like, I'm not on TikTok. I'm not making drill tunes and doing TikTok dances because I'm like, oh, I need to be fucking like with it. I was like, no, that's not what people who like me have ever liked about that. I've never been into gimmicks. And there are some artists and rappers who only use gimmicks to sell their shit. And eventually you stop thinking about good gimmicks and then it's quiet for you.
It doesn't last forever, man. Listen, look at I think why I found the creative trajectory of Fresh Ray. Because I know some people who were in that, mostly one person, most people were close to him. And I remember him being like, we have all these because once again, Harrison, man, fucking talented. That little white boy, that nigga had pipes. That girl,
he could sing.
They had really good song ideas, really good structures, really like kind of like contemporary stuff, and like
They're one of the first people to go viral as
we
well.
want your cutesy garbage. We want you guys to still make your cutesy garbage, because the thing that made you viral, keep on doing it
Doing
until
the
you go
Rihanna thing,
viral
come on.
again and
Like,
again.
We
It
just
doesn't
did a
work.
cover because that was it.
It doesn't work. So if you could be one artist in the world, any artist in the world, and you could perfectly match their career in terms of like you had the same level of celebrity, the same highs. You could only move this, like for example, if you like let's say pick Jay-Z, you'd only be able to move how Jay-Z moves, because you couldn't walk around regularly. People would rob you, X, Y, and Z, whatever. Who is that artist you would pick? Whose career do you feel best matches what you want to do? Or like if you had your ideal version of reality.
No, like that's a really good question.
I think it's great because, like, for example, you couldn't pay me to swap places with Drake or Justin Bieber. I wouldn't do
ever.
it.
I don't want that in problems.
I wouldn't do it, man. It's not worth it. It's just
it
not
doesn't
worth
look
it.
like it's fun.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? I feel like as great the parties is, like somebody's like knocking at your door at 6 o'clock in the morning to say start doing push-ups again. I'm like, that's not what I'm here for.
Justin Bieber, there was assassination attempt made on Justin Bieber's life when he was 16. As in, at that point, he had done nothing yet. It's
crazy.
So someone hated
Same,
him so much for
but-
being popular. They wanted to kill that motherfucker.
I feel like because, like, here's the mad thing, right? I wanted to wear a mask when I came out first, but then like Rubber Bandits blew it up. I was like, if I came out just straight after them, everyone would be like, oh, these are just, I would have been compared to them, where I was like, no, I just want to use the mask to be anonymous in the way of like, because I never wanted to do it for fame or celebrity or anything like that. I just like being creative and doing mad shows. And then I would love if I played this mad nightclub to just take my mask off and just go into the crowd
And hang around.
and just hang out,
Yeah.
because like you're all here clearly because like you like what I like. So, and then also just like,
Which is me. You like me.
but also as well, when you put your name there, and then like you said, when you don't do so well, people then start going, oh well, you're not doing so well. Whereas if I was just Mango, that people didn't know I was fucking Mango with the mask, they were like, yeah man, Mango's just killing it, chilling, whatever like that.
Also, it's like,
so like a Daft Punk maybe, I
No,
would
but-
feel like they just now and then come out every couple of years and they're like, hey, here's a fucking really good album, see you later.
But here's the problem with Daft Punk, right? Is that they get to be anonymous, which is good. But the issue as well is they're so popular. Like, I don't want my actions to be under a microscope. You get me?
But they aren't.
No, in terms of when they release a project, the world kind of stops for a bit.
Yeah.
And even if they don't know you personally, all that attention is to you. I think for me, I would love to be an artist where it's like I have some kind of buzz. Like, I think a perfect example is like a Danny Brown. I'm popular. I make music, but I'm not a star like that.
Danny Brown's so cold, man.
And the thing is,
So
everyone loves him. He's mad funny, but he's not like a superstar. If he
but
drops
like
a project, the world doesn't
no,
stop.
but you forget when he dropped Triple X, like he was doing a lot of press runs. He was in a lot of fucking like noisy and voice like video things where he had to talk, and there was documentaries.
Yeah,
and-
but that's a manageable level, because it's like he's not the main story. He's not the biggest seller. He never has been. And that Triple X project is maybe in like my top.
One of the top albums I've ever listened to.
That's
a guy who's like, I've just turned 30. This is my last fucking shot at ever making anything. And I wear mad skinny jeans. I like Dizzy Rascal, and I've done mad
I'm a
but
mad
I'm
emo
ghetto as
scene
fuck.
kid. Yo.
It was so unique.
And the thing is, he hasn't, in my opinion, he hasn't been able to top that since, which is a real shame. Cause
Not project wise,
not project wise, no.
but
Because
song wise, he has.
song wise, yeah, but because the thing about his flow on that album as well, he would go from like his real nasally thing to like, I'm so fucking, and then it gets like deep again.
Yeah.
No, like
even that era when he was coming out, when he did the Huzzah remix with Mr. Motherfucking X Squire, with like, I know you'd seen the start of fucking Run the Jewels and that thing, and what was the other thing Danny Brown was doing? He was doing all that shit with fucking ASAP Rocky on voice and stuff like that. Triple X, man. What's the one where it starts with the blaxploitation film? Fucking, is it called Monopoly? That song on that, and he's like, "I'll shit all over your mixtape." Nah, literally, I'll shit all over your mixtape. Wipe my ass with the credits, leave stains on the jewel case. I'm like, bro, like that guy came out being like, I don't care.
and that's my thing. He's someone who doesn't have
So
to
you
care.
that's what you would like, is that Danny Brown kind
That's
of buzz?
it. Nothing more. Like, that's my ceiling. That's all I want.
I feel like
I have no interest in being.
I feel like a
filthy
Chase
rich.
and Status, where you're like, oh yeah, those guys are good.
Good shout.
Love those tunes. They just seem like two dudes who just really care about the thing.
I won't lie.
They rock a rev, but I couldn't tell you their names.
I won't lie. You grab any two white dudes, that's Jason Status to me. I don't know. That's it. Like,
Bro, there's so many of those bands where there's so many of those bands where anybody could turn around to me with an English accent and be like, I'm in blah blah blah, and you go, sure.
question: you're in a duo. Do you feel, obviously, because decision making wise is obviously 50-50 on that, but do you feel like in terms of reception and in terms of like how people respond in terms of appreciation from other people outside forces, do you feel it's 50-50? I say this because to me, bands are fucking
No,
nuts.
I'm a front man.
Okay, so you don't feel it's 50-50.
No, but I think that's conscious.
Okay, go on.
So when we started, it was just going to be Mango, but Matt Man was going to do all the tunes, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm part of this." It's the same way that like, who's the guy who does all the Travis shit? What's his name? What's the fella he does all Travis Scott stuff? He's
I can think of 40 and Drake as a...
Okay, yeah, great example. So everybody knows 40's in there, and a Drake record is a 40 record.
Yeah, of course.
He was very much the same, But I was very much, and there was a lot of talk at the time about like producers not getting enough credit, and I was like, and it wasn't even just like, oh, you're just making the tunes and handing it off. He was also helping me make moves and do this, and this, and I was like, bro, you're as part of this as me, and this isn't a vanity project where I need to be all about Mango. This is about us. And I feel like the music is reflecting our relationship and what we love. And therefore, I convinced him that it should be Mango and Matman. But he's very much like, I don't want to be in the videos. I don't want to fucking do anything. I'm just standing back. I'll do a little cameo in a video. Cool. He's very much like, I'm preferred to be in the back scenes, but I'm very much like, when we're on stage, Matman's rocking it too. Matman makes 50 if 70% of the music. And I make, 40 to 50 or 30, whatever, it depends on the tune. So I feel like it's, as a partnership in the music and decisions, we are evenly matched. But because I'm the front man, I'm the face. Like, Matt Man deleted Facebook, he deleted Twitter, he's like, Instagram, a tiny bit. He's just off all that shit, and he's probably just happier. He's a little older, so he's like, I remember when this shit wasn't here, so I can totally just tune out of it. So I have to be the cold face for that, but therefore, I get all the looks, or it's about Mango, or I'm the mouthpiece for the group. But even in interviews, if you ever look at any of our interviews that are recorded, somebody will ask a question, I'll answer it. The next question that comes in, I'll shut my mouth and he'll answer it.
Yeah.
It's about both of us answering it, because sometimes you see bands and like the lead man is just answering all the questions, and like the drummer's just sitting there like, yeah, I play drums or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
I'm the drummer, man.
It's mad. I could be gassed. I'm speaking of Longitude a while ago, right? Me and Matt Man walked around Longitude all day before our gig and after our gig. And you know yourself, you are like 300 times more famous than you are at a music festival than you are walking on the street.
True.
Right?
True.
So you got to watch how you move as well. But
now you gotta move messier.
yeah,
move
wilder.
messier.
But the amount of people who were like, yo Mango, can we get a picture? And I was like, yeah, of course, man, absolutely.
And they would leave them out.
No.
Oh, okay.
They turn around and hand him the phone. Can you take me a picture of me and Mike?
Oh my god.
I was like, yeah, man. Matt Man, I was like, yeah, Matt Man's taking a picture, by the way. And they're like, you know what I mean? So that's the level of like how much the shine is on me. But that's how he wants. He's like, I don't want to be under the microscope, but it's my lyrics and my life. I'm not rapping about Matt Man's life.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, I'm just, musically and audibly there.
See, the thing is, which I think it's a different dynamic, especially when like that's his preferred way of things.
But if he was wanting to be as up in front of me, he would make an effort to be as up front of me, and I would have no problem with that. As from the first conversation of like, no, I was the one to turn around and be like, I am not doing this.
Yeah.
And it's all about me. I want you to be up front because I want you to get as any roses that are thrown at me, they should be going towards you as well. 100%. So it's a mad one. I don't know how, and it's hard with bands.
See, that's what I was going to say, because in terms of like the Tebby Rex stuff, me and Matt are like very 50-50, but in different ways. So I personally prefer to do kind of more, I think in terms of face, I think it's both of us up there. It's like same.
Yeah.
I personally prefer to do more of the kind of, like, let's say, creative stuff. Let's say me and Doug will like we'll write the music videos together and plan that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And Matt will do like the front facing stuff, social media interviews, where they're like, what does Tebby Rex mean, and where do you guys meet?
Bro, I still don't know what it means.
I fucking blow my brains out if anyone asks me that question anymore, man.
Well, I have to ask, because I've known you for years and I've never asked.
See, the thing is, it's a mystery. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not a mystery. Sorry, it's a. Is
it one of those things that has a big massive hint in front of your nose?
There's like 15 hints. We've put hints in songs. We don't do it anymore, really, because it was like,
is it an anagram?
No. This is what I say, because we used to Because basically we used to give out prizes for whoever figured it out, you know?
Right.
And, like I think over the years 3 people figured it out.
Yeah, it's some Latin anyway.
Look, if you're saying like one word represents Matt, one word represents me, that's the only clue I give. And then once you figure out the representation of those words, you should be able to derive a meaning.
Okay,
that's
cool.
it.
That's
it. But no, because bands, because I was saying the other day, I was talking about the fact that you could be like in a world famous band and not really be known, and that's so weird. Because you like, listen, I know The Edge, I know Bono, the other 2 niggas in U2, if they walk by
Larry.
me, I really no. I'll like listen. If he walked by, there'll be I'd be like, that person's familiar.
Yeah, I'll give you a gas about that, right?
Is.
Do you know the drummer from Coldplay? Massive fan of Game of Thrones, yeah? So he said to them, "Here, can I be in it?" And they were like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I don't know if he paid them or not," but they were like, "Yeah, cool, you get a little fucking bit part or whatever." So he was just cutting around and inviting, and I was like, "Oh, so what do you do?" And he's like, "I'm in Coldplay." Like, he was walking around and he's on Game of Thrones, and technically he's in Coldplay. It's one of the biggest bands ever.
Look at you say technically he's in Coldplay, as if he's not even really in it because he's the drummer.
Bro, tell me, do you know what the drummer of Coldplay looks like?
No, because he's not really in Coldplay.
So he's only technically in it. He's not in it. It's Chris Martin and the
Why am I
boys.
shitting on drummers? Fucking hell.
No, I love drummers, bro. But like, there are drummers who make a bigger impact. Do you know what I mean?
Look, the only drummer that everyone knows is Travis Barker from Blink-182, and that's
Sorry,
it.
Larry Mullen Jr. out of U2, right?
Who?
Ringo Starr.
Who?
Ringo Starr?
Who?
Just sit there, who?
I know Reem because he has a great big nose. That's the only reason. Love a big schnoz. That's it.
Yo, shout out. What about fucking your man from the Eagles, just the lead singer?
Fam, I won't lie to you, I know the Eagles.
Oh, mate, wait till you get into the Eagles. I'm going to send you some Eagles tunes.
Are they like
Fucking real.
old school rock, man?
Yeah, like easy listening. Whop. No, bro, honestly, it's like
You're about to say
candy.
WAP. I was like, wait, what?
Hey. Oh.
The Eagles got that WAP. I'm
You know
like,
what I'm
man,
Squeeze me? No, they're Whopper, bro. Like, honestly, the Morges California or Hotel California, there's some absolute pingers in there.
okay.
It's easy listening. And do you know what? I'm really getting into that 70s soft rock, easy listening stuff.
Because you wash, man. That's like the natural
Nah, do
progression.
you know what it is? I'm just like, I'm trying to find what I thought when I was young. The shit that I used to think was corny when I was young.
Okay.
I'm trying to be like, why is this man popular? Let me listen to it. And I'm like, actually, there's unbelievable songwriting in this. I read Mike Skinner's book, and he was talking about when he was writing A Grand Don't Come For Free, and he wanted to write about heartbreak. One of his friends was like, you need to listen to more country music. And he's like, really? And he's like, trust me, if you want to write about heartbreak and how that feels, listen to country music and you will be able to write a breakup song like a motherfucker.
What's something that's really popular, whether it be a song or a movie or whatever, that you just don't get still, and you've tried to get it, you really put the effort in, and you can't. You just can't.
We said about Dave previously.
Yeah.
There's a couple of film things. I mean, I'm trying. Well, drill.
So you still don't like.
It's not like I don't like it. It's just I feel nothing towards it.
Really, even the top tier guys, like the guys who are like about it.
It's just it doesn't land with me as much because I feel like there's too much repetition. Because maybe it's a generational thing of like when I came up, the thing to be was unique and different. A mad different voice, a mad different sound, and I feel like it just goes against what I love. Is that character, that personality, that charisma. It's like, I don't care if you're like sitting on live all day in a balaclava talking about smoking weed and shooting people. It's like, whatever. I can fucking go live looking at people I fucking actually know doing that shit.
But I would say then the top drill artists.
I don't dislike the sound.
Carry that personality, because Pop Smoke, for example, like, or
yeah, but
SL,
like, that's fine. I feel like, but they have charisma and stuff. I'm not saying drill artists. I'm saying as a whole, as a genre, I'm like, it doesn't really land with me. Like, I don't like. And do you know what I feel like? It's sometimes it has that suspense release of like, It's just like a hyper condensed version of that. It's the same when dubstep came out and it started being bro step. I was like, I know where this is going. I know what this sounds like. All these records fucking sound the same. It's not ever been my buzz. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like a bit of like flair, a bit of you. I want to see your heart in your sleeve.
I mean, like, I would say on the
What
drill
about you?
thing, for me,
What's the thing that everyone's like, oh, I love that?
listen, I won't lie.
Oh no, you know what? Let Me Blow Your Mind by Gwen Stefani and Eve. I don't know why it shuts so much parties
How's
down.
that go again?
You
You don't like that song?
I don't know what it is, bro. It just fucking like It's like eating soap. It's like
Whoa.
it just leaves this tang taste in me.
First of all, to ever even say any song involving Eve is like eating soap is sacrilege.
I know. I love Eve.
It's
just
Eve.
that tune, and I love Dr. Dre. I went to see No Doubt when I was like 9, bro. I seen No Doubt live. Gwen Stefani's incredible.
That's nuts.
But crazy though. Just on a side tip, if you look back at some of the No Doubt stuff, there's some wild fucking appropriation going on there. Like major.
Yeah, you get some of the Gwen Stefani stuff recently. It's still
Is she still at it?
I mean, not in like 2018 or nothing, but yeah, bro, Gwen Stefani.
She made some questionable moves that we were all like, this is fine.
You know, but look, I mean, then you get into discussions on the nuances around appropriation because it's like at the time when she was really in her bag,
the hits were too good to care. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But also, it's those discussions aren't really being had because I think it's a thing we had talked about.
Oh, if she came up now in the TikTok generation, she would be
no.
fish fillets, bro.
It's commercialization, man. Because all they did was, we can make money off this black nonsense. We'll turn this white girl into this black nonsense. I think that it's all just cogs in the larger machine.
I tried to be very conscious of that myself as two white guys doing this in a group. Like, I do have to recognize that I'm making a black music and that I never wanted to be like, well, we're getting it right and we're doing it, and to not acknowledge that, like, yes, they're like, we are like outsiders within it. Like, I am. It's, you know.
Can we put a pin on that? Because I want to actually have a deeper discussion on that.
Cool.
But real quickly, I don't like disco. Not even a little.
Fuck off.
Not even a tiny bit.
What?
Like, everything ABBA makes me want to.
Okay. No. Fuck off. No. That's like saying, like, David Guetta and saying I don't like house music. Do you get me? It's like this turbo white popular mainstream version of what it is. No, I'll give you some real disco, brother.
No, but Mango, here's the problem. For one, I get kind of what you're saying. But it's like, it's the same thing where, like, anytime someone mentions, like, a kind of scary movie, and I say, oh, I don't like scary movies, I'm pussy. They're like, wait, no, this isn't really scary. And then I watch it, then I'm scared, because, like I said, I'm pussy. I'm telling you, I don't like disco. I'm sure there's a disco song that exists I might enjoy, but as a genre, I think it's not for me. I think if you show it to me, it'll still not be for me.
I'm like that with techno. I'm like,
Wait, you don't like techno?
No,
that's so surprising coming from you.
And it's a techno city. It's a thing where I'm like, it's like, just like, and then they pull the high pass filter and then just roll it back in. And I get it. It's an endurance thing. And I know why it's like that. And I know why the music is like that. This
explains why I never see you at Rave in the Woods at EP. This explains so much about you.
Trenchtown, bruh.
Dude, yeah, Trenchtown may be like the Friday. Sunday evening, you're not at Rave in the Woods?
No, but I'm saying the rave, me and Mattman do secret raves in Trenchtown every year.
Well, so I haven't been invited to a single one, so I don't know.
I can't. It's all on my social medias. You just must be too fucking lily too titty to be looking at your Instagram.
I'm a Christian. I was praying.
Yeah, you just didn't get any coverage. Yeah, that's it.
I was praying.
But we do raves there where I'm like, I like a bit of syncopation. Do you know what I mean? I like a little breakbeat going on my team.
What's syncopation?
Yeah, I'm not the one who's going to tell you. I don't believe that for the bar. Oh, stop. But I like that kind of shit. So techno for me, I'm like, I get it, I'll enjoy it in the room. I'm like, but like, to me, it's the same thing with house music. I feel like there's flair, there's uniqueness to every song usually that comes through. And I feel like with disco for you, but I feel like but here's the thing, no one ever sat down with me and was like, we're gonna go through, I know you've listened to all this Adam Beyer and all this kind of fucking crack, right? But I'm gonna show you, like, because I've listened to Derek Carter and I've listened to loads of like mad techno, but then I'm gonna give you this techno mix, and I think that'll give you a nice introduction. I seen like mates of mine the other night down behind what's the spray paint alley behind where you were playing Opium? Yeah. Behind there, this dude had a Bluetooth speaker in the back of his fucking bag, and I was like, bro, your speaker sounds like it's breaking. That was the music that was coming out of this thing. I was like, there's no danceability to that. There's no groove.
There is if you try hard enough. Let me tell you.
There's no groove in it, and I love a fucking groove with a soul in music. And I feel like if I gave you one of the greatest lies, and I seen it on Twitter, one of the greatest lies the older generation of mine said was, disco sucks. Disco doesn't suck. Disco is possibly one of the greatest dance musics that's ever, because it actually peaked when people were classically trained musicians, so they could actually come up with melodies. And they were meeting the front face of like music technology. So they were like, I don't know what this does, so I'm just going to try and figure this out. But they really knew how to read, and like nobody knows how to read and write music, and like session musicians, like it's not as popular as it was back then. So it was the perfect melding spot of that coming after soul and funk before synth.
But let me tell you
There's
why
a lot of shit.
Let me tell you why I don't like, for let's say the majority of disco, I don't enjoy it. Because my problem isn't even necessarily that I think it sounds bad. I think it's very danceable. It's music made to be danced. Look, it's music made for coke. Let's keep 100, right?
It's dance music.
But my issue with disco is I think the sonic of it. It's almost like like you saying the drill beats don't speak to you.
Yeah.
I think there's something about disco where it's like it's towing the line, and people love it for this reason, between like kind of popular music and dancey, but being a bit sleepy and dreaming.
Okay.
It's kind of crossing a way where I don't fuck with it, because I want it to be more.
Do you like funk?
I like funk, but the thing is, I don't love funk. So even then, it's like, I know like people blend disco and funk, but it's like
but like funk, the disco comes after funk. It's just the speediness of it because everyone's doing fucking chat. But I get it. No, like if you like funk and you didn't like disco, I'd be like, oh, that's. And then you like synth pop, but you don't like disco. I'd be like, okay, somebody just hasn't shown you the right things. I was the same with heavy metal for years, and then somebody was like, no, listen to this, and I go, oh, I do like heavy metal. I just don't like the shit I was listening to.
But I don't think let's say for example, liking Pop Smoke means you like drill. I don't think exception to rule doesn't change the fact that for the most part this genre isn't for you. You know, I think that's totally fine. I think
there's Heady One tunes I love. There's,
exactly.
Unknown T tunes I really like. Homerton B, incredible record.
And that's the thing as well, and that's why people always say like, look, someone is, let's say for example, a racist if they say they wouldn't date any Asian people, because it's you saying no matter what, if they are Asian, they're discounted from my like, which is a weird thing to say. It's a weird way to approach life. Now, if you say, look, I don't like majority of disco, I might like the odd song. Yeah. I think that's a balanced way of looking at stuff. You'd be like, look, honestly, it's not really for me, but there's some stuff in it that's for me.
Yeah.
What?
No, I was just really listening. This is a great conversation.
But what time are we at now before we get into the debate? I have a really interesting 70 minutes. Okay, yeah, we have some time.
We've lots of time.
Let's remember we gotta do. But anyways, speak to me how you kind of navigate that kind of line between doing hip hop music or like a black genre, and then like music, doing it in a way where you're not appropriating. Because I have my ideas in terms of how I think you move in that. We were speaking on that off mic, and how I think you move in that genre, and why I respect the way you do it. But how do you think? What do you think you're doing that is kind of you're hitting that in a good way?
Well, I don't know if I am hitting it that way, because the thing is,
it's not up to you to say. I guess
it's not up to me to say, and also as well, I'm very new to learning and stuff, and somebody could turn around and go, it's kind of fucked up. Now, if somebody turns around to me and says, yo, what, you can't rap, I'd be like, right, pump the fucking brakes. That's not how it works. I can't rap and do certain things. Totally. I can't do a black accent. I can't do, like, you know, an appropriation of this culture and all that stuff. And now, don't get me wrong. And I think it's easier now to dress like a rapper, because dressing a rapper doesn't mean like it used to be. I feel like when I was younger, I couldn't dress like my favourite rappers. Might have tried a little bit. Yeah, but then there was a lot of kind of like, well, what am I doing here? I'm wearing a costume, nearly. Yeah. But this actually comes from a cultural place. So I was wearing a costume without understanding why and where and the roots in this culture. And I think the biggest thing anybody who does partake or create within a black art form needs to understand roots, culture, history, and what's the word I'm looking for? You need to know why things were like that. Context is massive of going, well, why is that like that? And contextually, what does that mean to the people who make this and to the people who created it? Why did they come up with that? And why did they come up with it there? And figure that out. Also, as well, you need to have a broad and wider understanding of the black experience. And that comes with having black people in your life. Not just, I know motherfuckers, so it's cool. Like, knowing them and knowing their friends, knowing their families and stuff like that to understand. Because I feel with any blacker friend that I've had, we're all cool. But the longer I might hang out with them, the more that will come up of their experience as a black person. Especially, you know, I've always lived in Ireland in a majority of a white country. And that will bring, and that's honestly what I make is black music that is made in a majority of a white country. Like I don't make Afrobeat or stuff like that. I make stuff that was made by black people in a white country. So you will find out more about their life the longer you're with them, around them, and just to kind of understand that. And to be honest, I grew up with black music in my house. To me, and I'm not one of these like I don't see color, I don't see race. It's like, but it was completely normalized to me that like black music was just normal in my house. That to me, playing a guitar was the same as rapping. Playing the tin whistle was the same as fucking DJing. It was just, it's music, right? It was never kind of understood, especially my father, him being very much into like black music when it was a weird thing for a white guy to be like that. So I try and, that's why it's so normalized to me, but at the same time, when I go through making music, I have to always understand that this is a black art form. No, it's not always something that's over my head.
Yeah.
And it's not something that informs my pen, because I am who I am and I'm just true to myself or whatever like that. But it reminds me of parameters and what I'm doing, and to not take without giving back, because you can't take from a culture and not give back.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. Do you know what I mean? And also as well, if you are in a black art form, you should be creating music with black people and supporting their art as well as that. You know what I mean? It should be an amalgamation of an integration between that, to blur those lines, to stop a segregation of like the black Irish experience and the white Irish experience. That's how I feel musically. It's just that I needed to be very conscious of it, because of people who aren't, you can tell straight away.
Yes.
And it's wrong and it's raw and it reeks of it and it sucks. Yeah. And usually it's really bad music.
Yeah.
You know those guys who were like, who's your favourite rappers? So like Beastie Boys, Eminem, LP, Macklemore, and you're like, and you know what, they're always like, Public Enemy, and you're like, right, okay,
two Public Enemy
projects. man fucking red flags.
Yeah.
You
Look,
know what
I think even me and Adam got in on that. We were talking about this a while ago in terms of people who, let's say, because I'm not gonna say no names.
Talk to me.
But Adam was whoa, I almost fucking said it. But Adam was like, this nigga is pretending to be, him and his whole career pretending to be working class, taking on working class aesthetic, and he didn't necessarily vibe with it. Okay. But if I could build on that, right? Because I think it's so important, like anything culturally, and I think anything, even let's say you're talking about, if you go so far as say like social justice or like, you know, all that kind of stuff. I think,
and that's another thing I'd like to add as well. It goes beyond just your music.
Yes.
It's your day-to-day life.
Look, I think there's such an emphasis.
Not just having mates, but like showing up for them when they need it as well. It goes beyond just your art. Sorry, I would like to just put a pin in there, because of course. That's something I feel very strongly about as well.
I think I really stress the importance of a phenomenological experience when it comes to like cultural stuff, which is to say that lived experience is more valuable than anything that's written in any kind of textbook, or it's like it's actually getting in your hands and like on the job.
But reading them books is important too.
They help as well. But what I'm saying is to understand the experience of people who are other to you, whether they be black, whether they be LGBTQ, whatever.
Travel out.
Your best bet is to
whatever.
be mates with them. And the best bet is to experience life with them, and that's when you get it. Because listen, I knew on paper what let's say trans people, let's say, dealt with in terms of their struggles day to day.
Until you had a friend.
Until like I get close to my friend Amber, and then we talk, and then I get a better idea of her day to day. You get me? So I think that's so important in terms of you saying, I've not only like engrossed myself in this culture, but in all aspects of the people and stuff surrounding it. So it's not just like a surface level. There are people who are like, they love Kendrick Lamar, they love his music, love his albums, and definitely say the N-word. It's like, you've missed so much of Kendrick Lamar then. You're not soaking up the whole thing.
Remember he brought that girl up on stage? Oh my God. Do you remember that? Oh, that was tough. He was like, say it. Go on, say it again. Come on. Oy, oy, oy. Do you remember Das Racist? Remember that band? It was Heems. He was in that Sweatshop Boys. He was like an Indian guy, and then there was another guy. And basically, at the end of their show, they would play Juicy, and it was the majority white crowd, and they would play the whole thing, and then we get the Biggie part when I go, and if you don't know now, and they would pull the fucking fader down, and just all the white people would say that.
Yo,
and would literally be like, you know what I mean? Like, no, stop. Like, that's, you know what I mean? You can't be here and celebrate that shit, but then think that is But it is, you have to be engrossed in a culture and be friends with people and beyond that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was very normalised in my house that, like, it was like no difference, no nothing. And I, you know, even when I was in primary school with people who were different than me, my mum and dad were very adamant to remind me and educate me young. Nothing different about them. They look or talk or sound or eat different, whatever the fuck, or pray different than you. They're the fuck the same as you, because guess what? They're in your class.
But wait. There is some difference. It's not all equal. There's a difference in skill level. And on that, to the debates. Music. Oh, first of all, I can't. But also,
You think because I'm white, I'm worse?
no, because
He
you're.
talks about being in debate class every week.
Yeah.
Listen,
I feel like
listen.
I'm gonna beat him like 3-0, and just like the next time I show up here, there's gonna be like 4 Estonians ready to kick this shit out of me.
As soon as with some like some
He's like,
rings
"Get him,"
on, they're
like,
ready to
"Nah,
go.
we'll break him.
Okay, we're doing this week's debate, boys. Very simple. Best guest verse of all time.
Oh, this is mad. Like,
I
it's
think
hard.
we're doing hip hop guest verses because we didn't even consider like some of the, you know.
Is there anything better than a hip hop guest verse?
Well, I have to consider it because I think. Look, I'm thinking.
I only feel like if you're singing with someone else, it's a duet.
No, but what if you're, let's say, a singer that comes on and does a verse on a hip hop song?
Like,
I mean, I think Beyonce's done it a couple of times.
yeah,
She was on that Megan
I just feel
Stallion
that's
song.
more of a duet.
Huh?
Yeah, I feel like verse versus verse is a rap versus rap.
But if it's a rapper and the singer comes on and does a verse on their song, how's that a duet if they're a singer?
No, they're just doing the hook.
No, but if they do a verse, it's not the hook. Like, there is a chorus.
Yeah, I know, but like, is that ever going to beat like a rap verse?
Pardon? I mean, listen.
Because you didn't pick a singer, did you?
No, because I didn't even think about it, right? But I mean, there are some stuff where I'm like, you know,
Okay, like what?
Well, I mean, look, I think I was gonna say like that Beyonce verse that she did on that Megan Thee Stallion song, the remix. I think she's
kind of
killed
rapping
that. Well, now we're getting bogged down in all sorts of technicalities. 'Cause I don't fucking know.
Literally rapping.
I don't know. She's a singer, so I'm considering. But anyways, look, it's best guest verse hip hop. We might do another one for a different genre another time.
I think we could do this debate another time, but just on a different day, because there's so many great guest verses.
Yeah, we were struggling.
I was struggling. I had to narrow down a huge pool of people.
Actually, yeah, sorry. I knew instantaneously because it's
No, because I text you. I was walking across O'Connell Bridge, and I was like, because every time we get here, we spend about 20 minutes trying to figure out what we're going to debate about.
fucking 40 minutes.
And I was like, yo, best guest verse. Because I was listening to something, I was like, that's fucking sick, man. I'd say he snapped when he asked him to be on that song. And I text you, and you were straight away back with it.
You know what's fucking fucked up? We were actually supposed to do the whatever, doesn't matter. We're doing the wrong debate, but we already started. It's too late.
You're supposed to do the other one first?
Yeah, that's cool.
No, I like this one. Fuck it.
I know, okay. Who goes first this time, actually? It's me, right?
Yeah.
Which is great, because that means you gotta go first next time. I'm gonna tag your ass up on that next debate.
I'm literally gonna spray you.
But let's go into best guess first. Okay, so I'm gonna give some of my criteria for why I made my decision. You can get pushback on that. That's fine. I'm just letting you know why I made it.
And you know what? I super respect your decision and your pick.
Adam, he's scared of the bars.
Nah.
He's already shaking the bars. Is
Like,
coming
here's
for
the
him. He's
thing.
scared.
Like, you're right. It's one of the greatest, but I just don't think it's as good as mine.
Okay, so let me tell you why I picked this. For me, I think it was instantaneous because it's so heavily talked about. Let me give my criteria. First of all,
To this day. What's that, 10 years old, this verse?
and people never stop talking, and as they shouldn't. So I think let's go first criteria, right? I think what's super important is the actual verse itself. It's
100%.
use of like flow, lyricism, all this kind of stuff, etc., etc., etc.
Wordplay.
Secondly,
How good the rap is.
yeah, this is the fundamental rap. Secondly, the context of the motherfucker. As in, if you do a dope verse on like a mid song, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, if the song or the person on the song is like let's say, for example, let's say Drake doing the song with what's that, like Block Boy JB, like Look Alive. Like,
Yeah.
look,
Whatever.
it doesn't count as much because you're being Block Boy JB. It doesn't matter to me as much.
You're just
it's the
mirroring
context.
the homie. Yeah.
And
you
then-
know, if you're doing a guest verse, you need to come in as you.
Yes, exactly.
And be like, no, I'm injecting me into this song
No,
and
but
making it
but
better.
what I mean is, well, it's like if you're out rapping someone that you should be able to out rap, it's not impressive to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, but if you're on a song with a great and you are stepping on next, it's impressive to me. And then finally, lasting impact. If you do a great verse,
And people remember it forever.
and people need the hip hop canon.
For me,
We talk about verses.
for me,
So stay.
another one is like when a song comes on, everybody sings along to that part.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
because
so-
everyone's like, oh yeah, do the hook, but then that verse, everyone's like, oh, you know what I mean?
So let me start off.
You got the bars on
opening
deck.
statements. Pull up in the monster automobile gangster
Gangsta.
with a bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Yo, I could honestly.
And my money many fake, but my money ain't. No, what's
Yeah.
the one? Hotter than the Middle Eastern climate. What, she's doing the English verse?
Oh my
You
god!
know,
But
me.
Nicki, FUCK,
Yeah.
forget Nicki for Bobby because she.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so let me
yeah.
start with context. In this song,
But
we
my
have
money 3 times your booking. Ooh.
yo. So for those who don't know, this is Nicki Minaj on the song Monster. Who else is on this song? Nicki Minaj out-rapped Rick Ross, Kanye West, and Jay-Z.
I'm Bon Iver.
I'm
It was actually technically on that tune.
I'm-
I only figured it
I'm-
out the other night because I was listening. I was like, I seen it on the credit roll on Spotify. I was
and
like,
you know
what?
what? I'm Charlie Wilson. Now, what's important here is
Charlie Wilson is the biggest Donny or anybody that was said on that record. Let's be fucking real, motherfucker.
Nicki had a better verse than him. So what you want me to say now? You're making me out to be a dickhead.
Charlie Wilson could just do the ooh and it would be better than anything she ever spit. But go on.
Woof. Bob's is on your ass.
Big Gap Bad fan here. I'll take it.
But so my thing is, and what's so important here is like, not only does she rap better than those amazingly, like some of the best rappers of all time, mind you, she also did it when they were performing high. Everyone
Peak
maybe
level
bar,
here.
Everyone bar maybe Jay-Z, but Rick Ross did a madness on
Jay-Z
this
did a
verse.
very mid verse for that.
But you know what the thing is,
It worked.
This is the problem.
Context, it was great.
This is the problem. I think Jay-Z did a mid verse for what the song is. If this is another song,
great, but the
it would've been
song
okay.
demanded
it was so strong.
fat motherfucker. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Rick Ross came in with like a little 8-bar, like, done.
Set the tone amazingly. Then Kanye West comes out. He's gritty. He's angry. He's dark. He's possessive. He's this fucking monster. He encapsulates it perfectly. Jay-Z comes and whatever.
Yeah, on
does his
Dracula,
thing.
on Frankenstein, I was like, oh, come on.
Yo, and then you have Nicki.
I'd say
Onika.
after he heard Nicki's verse, Nicki went last. Because there was
You have
no
to go
way,
last. You have to
no,
go
there was no
last.
way Jay-Z delivered that verse after hearing Nicki.
I think Jay-Z might have phoned it in. But wait, let me actually just dive into this a little bit here. Let me talk about, for one, her flow. Her flow in this song, in this verse,
She did the
iconic
slick
to
Rick
this day.
English voice on some of the bars. That's a different level.
Now,
Pulls
nigga,
out
let
the-
me have my argument, bro. You trying to make it for me. You wait till your turn,
With
boss.
you, I'm sorry. I'm just like,
Yo,
I love
man.
it. All right, I love that shit.
Yo, she fucking killed it. But anyways, right. So you're talking about like to this day, probably one of the most iconic flows from one of the best rappers of all time.
Yeah.
Right. It's instantly recognizable. And then, like you said, she's switching on the flow. She's changing up the cadence. She's like going into her bar persona, like she's conversing with herself, and it's like she's taking on what her critics are saying about her, or like the different persona where you have like the more aggressive Nicki being like the bar being I sell more than you, I'm more successful, and then
Yeah.
the bar Nicki, the rap hip hop Nicki is like I'm gonna fuck you, bitch, you're nothing,
For
bro.
me, the only thing important about this is that she outbarred everybody.
And she outbarred herself while she was talking to herself in this song. You know what I'm saying? It's like
All right, calm down.
let's actually give it. Let's give this a deep reading. Let's give this a deep reading that this deserves. So it's like everyone's touching on this theme of being a monster, right?
Yeah.
And I think
She's playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
that's exactly it,
Yeah.
man. And not only is she doing that, but like she's doing it effortlessly and flawlessly.
Not effortlessly.
No,
that took time.
but
to
it
fit
feels the
that.
way she's even rapping it. It
And that's
feels
the great
effortless.
verses, is
man.
that it feels like they're just talking.
It feels like water. It feels a natural as water.
Yeah.
She
You're
hit.
like, I know where that was gonna go, and I didn't. Yeah, absolutely.
Yo, 50K for a verse, no album out. Yeah, my money's so tall that my Barbie's gotta climb it. Harder than the Middle Eastern Yo, listen.
Harder than a Middle Eastern climber.
So,
And my money's so tall, I gotta climb it. Oh, come on.
so on that alone, I think like you're talking about one of the best rappers of all time in one of
Nicki?
their best verses. You gotta put Nicki in the top 20. If you don't put Nicki in the top 20, there might be a problem.
Top 20.
You gotta put Nicki in the top 20.
No.
You gotta put Nicki in the top 20.
No.
The thing is, Nicki Minaj, and also like
I have a lot of love for Nicki, but top 20 of all time.
I respect Lauryn Hill. I respect Lauryn Hill. But even if you're talking rap, Nicki Minaj is a better rapper than Lauryn Hill. Nicki Minaj is the best female rapper of all time. I say I emphasize female. I emphasize female because there are men that she is stepping on still.
No, she's not the best female rapper.
Who is it?
I would put.
We gotta go hip hop. I can feel this hip hop coming out.
No, if I was to say rapper,
Rapper.
I'm not saying
Rapping.
songmaker.
Spin, yeah.
Because I think she makes great songs.
No, because I was gonna say songmaker is Lauryn Hill.
Oh, 100%.
Lauryn Hill is the best. Like she's one of the best musicians of all time. Hip hop
Honestly,
musicians.
I think
But rapping
rap
is
bars.
Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
I think Rhapsody's better.
Oh, you a new cut hipster. Okay.
No, but for real, like
okay.
she's reload bars left, right, and center, bro.
Look.
I feel like she is way deeper,
Look.
and her pen game is way harder.
Okay, so
than
this
Nicki's.
is what I do. I don't think we can have that discussion. I feel like this is almost disrespectful because Rhapsody is too new to be talking to an OG like
She
Nicki
got
just
3
yet.
fucking 4 albums out, bro.
Doesn't matter. You're talking with someone that has years in the game. You can't have that conversation
Rhapsody
yet.
came out years ago, bro. We talking about
No, but she's only big now. You know what I'm saying?
now. No, she fucking got big after fucking Good Kid, Mad City or whatever. Oh, damn, what was the one she was on with Kendrick?
I think she was on To Pimp a Butterfly. That's not 10 years, bro. Like, listen,
6?
in the same way, like I don't think you can talk about, let's say, Kendrick be better than Jay-Z because it's still too new. You're talking about someone that has decades in this thing. It's not the time yet. We can have that discussion. It's just not the time yet. You know what I'm saying? So okay, let's take out fucking. We talk about the actual song. We talk about the context in terms of who she is as a musician, what this was. Let's talk about the impact. To this day, people talk about this verse. To this day, Nicki Minaj fans who love everything she do calls back to this verse. To this day, it's instantly recognizable. People pick up the flow automatically.
100%.
This is a shining star, a gold moment, perhaps one of the best verses in one of Kanye West's best albums.
I'm not gonna lie though, right? I agree with you, but on day to day, it might flip between on that album, verse wise, Pusha T and Runaway. That is crazy, bro.
Fam, I'm with you 1,000%.
Like,
But that's one of Pusha T's.
great.
Look, we're talking about the greats of the greats here.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about
There was something in the
a
water
10
in that
versus
album
a
was
10.
made.
Even like I think people like even shit like the other verses on that album. Like to me, like
Everybody brought it again.
I don't know if Power is officially on that album. I think he took it off. Things on it or I'm not too sure.
I thought that was. No, yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, but look, Power is like the perfect encapsulation of what Kanye West said he was going to become just before he became it. Like he really foretold his future on that song. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. So look, I talked about, let's go over this stuff. I talked about context-wise why she beat everyone else in that song and she beat some of the greats, including Jay-Z, including Rick Ross, including Kanye West. And for most of them, they were on top form. I talk about the actual song and flow itself where we're both in agreement. That's fucking amazing.
Fire.
And then let's talk about the lasting impact in terms of that album and that being one of Kanye West's best albums and that being one of the best verses of performance in that album as a whole.
Yeah.
I think for all those reasons, and then you talk about like the top female MC of all time at the top of a game, nigga.
Hip hop.
Hip hop.
Started out in the park.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's what I think about it. The floor is yours, sir.
So, I've been listening to hip hop my whole life, and I'm trying to think. So when I initially said to you what my greatest guest verse was,
Laughed you out the room.
nah, let's be real. It might be the best guest feature verse, rap wise, right? But I think it falls down on impact wise. If it had a more impact, maybe on a more bigger banger song, I think I would be able to go head to head with what you just said.
Okay.
But I was gonna say J-Rock and Money Trees, who I think might be as good a rapper as Kendrick Lamar on that roster.
Oh, in terms of rap ability, for sure.
100%.
For sure.
Take your J's and tell you to kick away. No, when he says, "Drop the stash up in the bushes, hope the boys don't see my ass. If they do, then tell the truth. This might be the last time you might see my ass." Like, that's a guy, and I feel like in a guest verse, what needs to happen is, right, it needs to be a song within a song.
I mean, okay.
It needs, there's a song that's buzzing, and if you weren't there, everyone knows it's tune. But you need to let motherfuckers know who your life is and what you're all about. You bring a completely new flavor to spin onto that record, right? So I'm talking like Jay-Z on Heartbreaker with Mariah Carey. You know what I mean? I'm talking like the J-Rock thing. I'm like, who else did we mention beforehand?
We talked about, I don't know if you want to use this, suppose, Kendrick on Control.
Kendrick on Control. Crazy. He was like, okay, yeah. Boom. Let me just like... Now, that I feel was gimmicky because when's the last time you listened to Control?
It's 7 minutes, bro.
Yeah, but like, exactly.
It's long.
But it was a moment in time.
Yeah.
And, you know, Kendrick even fucking mentioning his other songs, like, Jay even said how one voice could fuck up the game because he was mentioning that Jay used that bar, blah, blah. But when's the last time you listened to Control?
Yeah, it's not on repeat for me, I'll be honest.
No, it's great and we all remember that time, but it's not there. So I had to do, and I don't know which to do. I'm stuck between two. Because one is that one that comes on at the club or the radio or randomly on Spotify and you're like, oh. And then the other one I just know is like the anthem for so many people. Like everybody and their ma loves this
I'm gonna tell you right now, the only way to beat Nicki, you have to go Anthem. You have to try out Anthem her. Because if you try to come up with some like a amazing verse, but a song doesn't have that same impact, it's not as iconic, you're not winning this one. You gotta go Anthem.
I'm gonna, you know what? I was caught between two. I'm gonna drop Andre 3000 on Khaleesi's Millionaire. Because I don't feel it has... It's a quick little thing because it's on a little. In fact, if you listen to it, it's actually a drum and bass rhythm, right? This motherfucker with eye drops, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Crying your eyes out.
I'll sing about that Nicki verse. I'll sing about. I'll never be able to, so much. I'll never be able to do what she did.
So I'm thinking, I have to because that Andre 3000 has done international players anthems. Like his guest verse game is out of this world.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? I would nearly argue for him on Roses, but whatever. Because it's his album, but technically there are two different CDs, so I'm not gonna get into the muddy waters of that. I'm gonna go what I feel is one of the greatest rappers of all time with one of his most iconic verses of all time. One of the most, I think, sing-alongable. Like, oh shit, this is coming on versus.
Go on.
It's Snoop Dogg on Nothing But a G Thing. Bro.
Okay.
That Leon Haywood sample comes on. Do-do-do-dum, do-do-do-dum, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Right, and you're like, oh shit, right? And you got a context at the time. This thing's coming out in 92, 93. Back then, a lot of rappers,
but it's lit still. It's not dated. That's
no,
the key
no.
thing.
But here's the thing, right? But at the context of the time, right? You got that. You got Bomb Squad. You got Public Enemy. You got all these guys making this hard, brash New York. You got Das Effects going, you know, rapping all this fucking as much as I can. You had a Big L and even Jay-Z at the time, with the flow, you know, was still going to like mid-90s, that kind of flow. And all of a sudden, you had this West Coast. Laid back, chilled out, and like just steps up to the mic. This young Crip gang member. And you gotta remember, we all gotta think about Snoop Dogg now. He's like Uncle Snoop, who used to be a Rasta, and he's a bit of a meme now. He's doing Just Eat ads, right? But Snoop Dogg had just got off a murder trial, and had just beat a murder rap, which maybe I think he fucking killed him, but he had just done that. Dr. Dre is the biggest. He just came off fucking NWA. He's about to release the biggest album that anybody's waited for. Ice Cube, he fucked off to New York and started making shit with the bombs. Amazing album, some of my favorite rap albums of all time, and I really mean that. But The Chronic came out. The Chronic is one of the most influential. Even Biggie was like, I would only listen to The Chronic when I was trying to make Ready to Die. Like, he even said during the West Coast, East Coast beef, he was like, we fucking hate everybody in the West Coast except you, Snoop. He was still mates with Biggie. That kind of buzz. Snoop comes in and just counts. Old school, toasting, Jamaican style, on the beat. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance. So back on up because you know we about to rip shit up. Give me the microphone. So he does that little, give me the microphone first, bro. That thing is forever and ever. I meant, like, if he had never made that one specific verse, because if we think about the Chronic, the original Chronic, being such a fucking Rosetta Stone for West Coast rap music, that we would never have Kendrick or half of the people that came out of Compton without that album, right?
Absolutely.
We would never have that flow, that style, that laid backness. He took this gang talk, he took a completely fresh new spin on the sound of rap music at the time by saying everyone's going duh 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 duh, writing down the bar, and he goes, what if I just came up and just like whispered the thing like I was this funkadelic, smooth pimp brother out from the fucking Long Beach, right? The verse he did has made Snoop Dogg who he is. And that one verse, because here's the thing, most people didn't hear Deep Cover when it came out. It was on a soundtrack to the film, and I love that record. It was the first record I ever bought on vinyl. Not at the time, obviously, because I was like 1 or 2. But
I was a sperm, so I didn't.
you know what I'm
purchase
saying? I was a
anything, but-
glint in my father's eye. But when that 1, 2, 3, like, your man will bop to that. A
Facts.
5-year-old will bop to that.
Facts.
I'll bop to that. A 16-year-old will bop to that. That thing just licks off daily. And he doesn't have to do this big man. This, that.
Can I give maybe some
But
pushback?
the only thing is, right, and this is what I say about guest verses, right, and that really make it has to be a song within a song.
Okay.
And it has to let me know exactly who the fuck is right. And this is why I love the J-Rock one. J-Rock in 16 bars, or however long that verse is, tells you his whole life perspective. Andre 2000 does, like, there's so many of these that they just fucking, like, give you their whole life perspective. I tell you a mad story within a song that's telling a story. Snoop Dogg sets the legend of Snoop Dogg. Before Doggy Style drops, he sets the legend of Snoop Dogg out. And everybody from then knows what the fuck Snoop Dogg is and what he's about on this. And he has had a longer, bigger, greater, and more influential and more important legacy than majority of rappers.
Yeah, of course. It's Snoop
Certainly Nicki Minaj.
Dogg. I would say yes.
And I think he did it all with that one verse.
Now let me ask one question, because everything you said so far is accurate to me in terms of like the importance of that song for creating the myth of Snoop Dogg, in terms of Snoop Dogg's career,
And
like
creating the sound of the West Coast.
And
When-
that's
and
what
they were
kicked him
fighting
off.
against New York, which was knocking out Wu-Tang, which was knocking out like the
course,
greats and heavies.
of course.
That was the shit that New York people were like, oh, I'm going to start listening to West Coast stuff.
But-
on that album, and
Yeah.
that was the song on that album.
But let me give you a pushback, because like Doggy Style came out how long after that?
I'm going to tell you, it was a really quick, short run of those Death Row
But
records.
so my thing is, I think a big part of what also made mine, I think, really stand is that not only is that's arguably like the best Nicki verse. My problem is there are better Snoop verses on Doggy Style just down the road. So while this is like a good building block of that, if I can say, wait, here are 3 Snoop verses that are harder than that, I feel like that hurts what you're saying a little bit. Or do you think that is, in terms of his canon, his...
I think, here's the thing, Snoop Dogg is not a lyrical motherfucker.
No, he doesn't need to be. He doesn't need to be. No,
Like his whole thing is playing you is painting you the picture of his life and what he's up to and how he feels and his values and his life and his codes and his words. And I think he perfectly exemplifies that on Nothing But a G Thing. I feel like Nicki is like, yeah, I'm telling about my life and I'm this, that, rapper, that. But I'm like, I couldn't pick what Nicki Minaj's life is day to day from that verse.
But Nicki understood the assignment, you know? 'Cause I think
Oh no,
that's
absolutely,
important.
I get that. But what I was saying is that, like, as soon as I heard that Snoop verse, because I heard that before I heard anything on Doggy Style, my mate Sean gave it to me, and I was like, this is crazy. But I heard, like, obviously heard Nothing But a G Thing first, and I was like, this, because you know the first time I heard Nothing But a G Thing, I used to buy my sister Christmas gifts every year. Was like those double CDs, Kiss, hip hop anthems, hip hop classics, all the same shit, but it was just different variations of that. And she'd get it, and she'd be like, yo, when she was out, I would sneak into her room and borrow it back and listen to the shit, right? So I was kind of giving a gift, but to take it, you know what I mean? Look, what's gonna do? We both like rap music, but I was like, you're not hogging this shit. And I mean, I was going through classics of the late 90s, early 2000s. So I would have bought these CDs in like 06, 07. So I'm talking like DMX, Ja Rule, LL Cool J, like the fucking the anthems of all anthems. And just that one, I was like, this sonically, rap wise, everything sounds completely different. This set the tone for what West Coast music is. And there are people still to this day trying to copy that late 70s, early 80s Parliament fucking funk sound. And Snoop Dogg is the Rosetta Stone of all of that. He was the first person to be doing that, because before that it was Ice Cube talking like, I'm angry, yeah, gangsta, that's what they're yelling, like Eazy-E. You know what I mean? I ain't fucking like, you know, I ain't no fucking role model. Fuck you, fuck the police, blah blah blah. Snoop Dogg was like, yeah, cool, whatever, man. Slow it down, all that stuff. He changed rap because people then decided they could rap like that because it was getting harder and harder and harder. And he was like, yo, slow the fucking thing down. You know what I mean? And just the writing and the rap and how iconic it is. He could be doing nursery rhymes and it would sound fly. But what he's saying is unbelievable, man. Like, I'll even go fucking, like, even the second verse where he does half and half with Dre. Like, what's he up to? Takes place where I ask your attention, marble like a motherfucker, but I ain't lynch. Like, just all these, like, no, I'm not gonna lie, Dr. Dre has one of the worst bars in rap music on that.
Was it?
He goes, never let me slip, because if I slip, then I'm slipping. You're like, yeah, no shit. Because if you are slip, then you're slipping. I get you. Do you know what I mean?
That goes. What are you talking about?
But that whole Snoop Dogg legendary, just rhyme everything that rhymes with ECBD. He's like Snoop D-O-double-G 213 LBC, yeah, COMPTO. You know, all that shit. He hit that up, and he was using gang context and codes. So we look at drillers now talking about with it up, whatever, stash this and fucking Splash Man and all this. They're using these codes about gangs and like all that stuff. But back when he was, that shit. It's effectively like somebody taking a drill artist. Imagine a drill artist came out right now, was doing a drill tune, but was mad chill on it. Like, no, just fucking.
Yeah, SL, man. You really need to listen to more SL.
I was only playing him last night. We hit the block with Passaloo.
It's a
what
you want. I know what you mean. I get anything. Anyway.
But he's like, yeah, I'll just slash your fucking neck and, you know, I'll show up in your road and I'll just like blow your man away. And you know what? The girls all love me.
That's crazy.
And, you know, I'll just kick your fucking front hinges off and shoot your dad. It's like, that's what the equivalent was. It was like he was so ominous and scary.
That Finch verse right there.
No, I need like a Brian Kerr reference in there. I need like a football reference there. Yo, straight up, shout out Finch. Forever and a day. Okay, yeah. For no particular reason.
I co-sign
Not
that.
because anything ever happened.
I co-sign that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just out general, no reason. But shout out Finch. But I'm saying Snoop Dogg, best guess first. Because it will be forever and ever, amen, the greatest and most legendary and influential and genre defining.
Look, I think I hear what you're saying.
I respect yours.
I respect yours.
Fine.
So much respect.
Fine.
You love to see it.
Yo, show us in the comments, who do you think? Snoop D-O-D double fucking whatever.
Yo, that whiskey is him, but we have to do another
Snoop
one
D-O
after
double
this.
G.
It's going to be lit. And yeah, let us know if you think Nikki
I gotta do a story,
changed the game. You got to do a story, yeah, man. What time are we at?
90.
Yeah, you can do a short story. You got kids.
Oh, you usually do it the two, so fine. So I'm going to talk about how I ended up doing one of my best guest verses of all time, right? So, set the scene. The animators are no more.
No.
One of the greatest rap crews of all time.
No.
It's like not making music anymore. So I didn't know where I was. I was in the wilderness of life. I didn't know what I was doing, where I was going, blah, blah, blah. So, but I was still cool with all the animators, guys, right? And
what did y'all break up?
basically, in the short and curlies of it all, 3 people were doing all the work and all the effort, and 3 people thought that they could show up 20 minutes late for sound check, ask for all the glory, and then fuck off, and then demand all the money. And I was like, well, you're not hustling for the money. And as talented as you may be, if there's no hustle and you don't respect somebody who's providing you all the opportunities, then eventually that person's going to be like, well, what the fuck am I working so hard to get you all the opportunities when I can do it myself?
Yeah, I hear you.
Therefore, that's where Mango Madman came from.
Okay, I see.
Because after I broke up, I turned around to Madman and I said,
Side note, do you have an antihistamine like last time? I might run to Leon and get one.
I might. I'll check for you now, man. We can cut this.
My eyes beat my schmeat.
No, I'll get you, man. You just go keep them around, don't you?
I usually do. I need to get my fucking eye drops. I forgot the proper ones.
I don't know if I brought one, mate, man.
No worries, man. Actually,
I will check for you.
Keep it going. I'll buzz into Leon and grab it. It's not a bother.
I don't know.
It's
Really
cool.
sorry.
It's cool. No
I
stress.
thought I could help you out.
So go on, yeah.
So the animators broke up, but I was still kind of cool with everybody. Blah blah blah. And I don't know how I got talking to these guys, but they were called the Dirty Dubsters, right? And this was a reggae sound system, drum and bass, dancehall, dub, reggae, run by a guy called Bazza Ranks, who was a white guy from Malahide, by the way, the greatest hairline I have ever seen on a white guy ever. Envious.
Oh, wow.
I could set my watch off his fucking hairline.
Wow.
Right? And he buzz cut it as he should. If you got a fucking rapper hairline, you got to show it off.
Okay.
You can't just be like doing fuck all with it. People with long hair and all. It's like, no, you got a killer, you show that shit. And another guy called Ozzy J, who was an Australian guy who lived out in Kildare somewhere. And then there was
Kildare.
And then there was Bongo J. Bongo J was one of these new age hippies. He was a carpenter out in Crumlin. He was from England or Essex or something like that. He was just like this mad cunt, blah, blah, blah. So they needed MCs for their festivals in Ireland. And I ended up fucking tucking in with RV from the Animators. And he was like, I might be doing bits and bobs with them. Do you want to come down? We'll do a show with them. So we ended up starting doing shows with them, right? At the time, all I would do was just relay Animator verses over like dancehall tunes. And it would work. And then just like kind of learning how to work rave crowds. Because before then it was hip hop crowds.
Yeah, Animators was a little bit more kind of
boom bap,
yeah, but a little
Tribe
more
Called
boom bap,
Questy
that
kind of
stuff,
buzz,
yeah.
you know? Where this is more like people were here to rave. And it was more about getting them hype and all that. Now, before, when I was in the Animators, I was definitely a front man. I was definitely the hypest guy who was getting the party live. And that's why I make the music I do, because I feel like that's so important. And it's an extremely hard thing to know how to do, and not a lot of rappers. You might be nice in the mic, but if you can't rock a party, you're bullshit. So I ended up getting with these guys. We started doing these mad raves, blah blah blah. And he goes, "You want to go on tour?" I said, "Yeah, fuck it." Like, I'm 23, 24, and nothing else to do except go hard in the fucking paint, bro. Right? But I would forget all the time when I was supposed to gig with them. Bazza lived in London, and he would text me the night before, being like, "Yo, I'll see you in Dublin Airport at like 1. So he texted me one time, and I'm back in a gaff in Ballymun, and I'm being very bold. Okay. And I'm 3 sheets to the fucking wind, right? And I'm like, oh man, I think it's like coming up to like 8 or 9 in the morning. I'm like, fuck this. Anyway, get home, fucking fall asleep, get up, fucking way too early. And he's like, yo, we're going for 5 days on a tour. So I was at home, butcher, trying to put like a sports bar together.
What's with you and going drunk to the airport, man? Like, this is a real problem for you.
I would never go to an airport sober in my life.
Okay, yeah, I mean, okay.
Why would I need to?
I mean, you don't need to.
I'm already on my holidays. Like, I've clocked. Am I in work? No.
Well, I mean,
you figure it out. Fuck you. I'm drunk. You point me where I'm going and I'll go.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm picking. He says, look, just meet me at the airport. My dad's left me car. His car, his Jeep there. I'm going to meet you outside long term. You get into the jammer and I'm going to go. So we went to Portlaoise, we went to Cork, we went to Kerry, and then somewhere else in Cork, and then we went home. It was like 4 or 5 days on a tour. And I mean, rallied, right? Ready to fucking go. So we go down to Cork and we play Bear in the Woods Festival. And then we meet this guy called MC Quasi. Quasi's a fucking janitor or like a super in a block of flats in Manchester. He's best mates with all the fucking Stone Roses and all that. He's like, alright, what's happening, mate? Alright. And he's got dreadlocks down to his arse. He's an Ethiopian dude. It's mad. Every time he raps, he just smokes Benson and Hedges the whole time on stage. It's mad. But he's a great dance hall MC. So we're doing all this and we start like working on a set. And we start doing this. And I'm bouncing off him. He's bouncing off me. And we start doing all that. I was like, whoa, this is like really natural. But the DJ set isn't the same every time, but we just know little bits we can do during whenever they might play this in a set. Then we go out to Kerry to Valencia Island Festival, which doesn't exist anymore. Because the person who was doing because the person who was doing it didn't know how to run a fucking festival. And we showed up there and half the tents were blowing away. Like some of them were like, you know when you go out to somebody's 21st and it's like a gazebo. There was that and like there was the big blue bus from the Bernard Shaw. That was there. I spent my whole time in the big blue bus because it was sideways rain. Your one was like, oh, my main act is in a tent that's after blowing away, so you guys are going to have to play where that tent was in the rain, and he's going to go in the main tent. We were like, no. I ended up sorting out some for Natty Whaler, one of the Whalers from Bob Marley.
Yeah, of course.
Ended up sleeping in the back of a van, like just like outrageous, like long. And then we went to Cork one time, and we were in this B&B. Literally looked like a haunted house, but it was all these old Cork women who lived beside a waterfall. It was amazing. We were playing Townlands in Cork. Do you know that festival? It's really good actually. It's called Townlands anyway, but it's all that kind of like new age hippie. Like a lot of people walking around with their kids wearing like fucking hilarious hats, and you know what I mean, like all that kind of festival.
Yeah.
But they were loving it, and like we were staying in this haunted house and like this weird boozer. I remember we went down to it because I would tour with it. This is how I love to learn vegan food. It's because I would tour with a lot of Rastas who all eat Ital food, which is like only vegan. And we get up one morning and I am hanging out me fucking jocks. The cedarwood states are fucking stitched onto me. And this old Irish woman comes up. I'm sitting beside this guy. He's 60. Like, lives on Reggae Mountain. Like, his dreadlocks are touching his feet sitting down. And big dude. And she says, oh, will you have a breakfast? And he was like, yeah, cool. And she comes out, drops it in front of me. I was like, lovely. And then drops it in front of him. Now, if you know anything about Ital and Rasta diets, is that they don't eat pork.
Okay.
It's as bad as that. And what did she drop in front of him? Rashers, sausages, pudding. And he flips the lid. She's like, what? You asked for a breakfast? And it was mad shit, right? Then we did Bear in the Woods Festival. Remember Bear in the Woods Festival?
Fuck those guys, yeah, man.
They didn't get paid?
Oh, we got paid. They tried
Eventually.
ducking. They tried ducking, bro. They tried ducking.
Really?
There was a rapper, I think it was OB Trice or whatever. There was a rapper that used to be in D12 that came to play that year. He was going to fuck those guys up.
For real?
Like, we went straight to their management to handle it because, like, they were getting ready to get aggressive. I was like,
Right.
oh, we're with them.
Yeah. Just standing behind his shoulder like, yeah.
You tell them, buddy. Give him a good seeing.
So we went down there one time.
Yeah.
What's your man? He has a bit of mental problems sometimes. He's a really good UK rapper. Witness to Fitness. Roots Maneuver was finishing that night. We were like, amazing. I remember seeing Deja Vu. Do you remember Deja Vu?
Oh, yeah, of course, man.
Right? Boys were out of minds. On stage, on their back, screaming, roaring on the microphone. I was like, whoa, you probably shouldn't have done that much before you went on stage. Anyway, it was one of those festivals where it was like, people on this stage were as fucked up as people in the crowd.
Sounds like Bear in the Woods.
Do you remember that District lineup?
Well, the one that would never happen.
Were you on that?
Yeah, as everyone who's
Imagine that gig went ahead. Like, look at that festival lineup.
I know, it's nuts.
Like, for one stage. You'll never get that again.
No, never.
And it costs too much money.
Yeah, the price
and
point.
Some people would be too snooty to join that fucking stage.
The price point, yeah.
I'd go on that stage.
Listen, I know you're not the snooty one. I know who we both think the snooty one. So I'm gonna say nothing. We'll keep it.
WX.
I'm gonna say, listen.
If you want to start with beef with JLOL, like just
never. Listen, like I said, I'm never beefing no one black.
So we're at fucking he's talking to you, Elvin. So we're at Bear in the Woods, right? We show up and I'm on day 5, right? No, do you know what? I went home for the night and I went back to Bear in the Woods fast. So he picked me up at the airport and I am hanging. We all did that tour and he says, right, we got 1 week off. I'll be back to you there on Friday. So no worries. Thursday night I went out and he picks me up in his Jeep, and I went in, and we were listening to fucking tunes, and I was in the back, and I was like, like bad. And he was like, we're staying in this mad hotel in Portlaoise. I was like, lovely, we're gonna stay in a plush out. Alright, let's go, yeah? We get up, and like, I was telling the lads, I was like, lads, I'm gonna get sick. They were like, we're nearly there. We're in Portlaoise. I was like, I'm gonna puke my brains out. We're nearly there. We're going, and like, this is before like Siri and shit like that, and the covers doesn't work. I think your man had like one of those, you know, the little GPS, like, you put on your windscreen, like, it was one of them days, like 2014, like, you know. So we're going down these mad roads, and eventually we take this turn down this road, right? And this hotel, oh my God, looked at it, I was like, there's no way they booked us in there. But you want to see the thing was plush. Like, you know, one of those hotels that has a little like semi drive around cul-de-sac thing, you can drop a car and get a valet to take it away.
Oh wow.
Like major. We walked in and it was like not Brown Thomas, because they don't have it, you know, clearly, where they used to have like the stairs that go up and like really fancy like Victorian shit. And I was like, all right, get out of the car, and I puke my fucking ring up into a rake of bushes beside me. Like, and I'm like,
did they see?
yeah, of course. So, and like, we're showing up as a raga sound system, Air Max, mad tattoos, hippy dippy motherfuckers, and I'm out the front like absolutely fucking watering the plants out the front, right? Like,
Jesus.
like watering, like projectile lashing the fucking boys over. And I was like, oh. And you know what's bad when you're in your like early to mid 20s and you're getting sick the next day.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to bounce back. It's not,
No, the next day means like you went too hard.
Oh, you guess like the next day. It's like hours after the next day, so it's like troubling you.
This
all
was
the
like
next day.
4 in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, you
I
fucked
got
it.
sick. Yeah, I was just doing too much. So we rock in. I don't run the band. I'm just the MC, so I'm running around. I'm on the stairs getting pictures and all these fancy hoity motherfuckers walking by me. I was like, yo, it's lit. What story came in? Smelling mad fragrant, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, musty, man.
You know, like,
you be musty places now. This is like the third time you're just like drunk in the back, stinking up. Like, yo,
I'm
it's
saying,
lit.
I'm out here, but like, you know, I'm smelling all sorts of different aromas at this time.
Of course,
if you catch what I'm saying?
yes,
like,
of course,
you know, I'm showing up smelling like, you know, mad illegal activities.
Yeah, man. Look, it's like
I'm a young man making stupid decisions.
it's the springtime of your life.
I'm
you know,
saying
springtime
exactly.
Of your youth.
I'm ready to make some mistakes out here. You know what I'm
course,
saying?
man.
But these middle class posh people from Laois, I guess, didn't fucking fuck with that.
Nah, ain't about
So
it.
blah blah blah. Basil gets to the hotel desk. He's like, yo, because say this thing was called like Portlaoise Hotel, right? They were like, you're not staying here. It was like, no, we are. It says the Portlaoise Hotel. And he's like, no, you're staying in the Portlaoise Hotel. This is just Portlaoise Hotel. And we're like, oh. So you need to get the fuck out of this hotel. And we're like, alright, fuck it, whatever. So we get back in the car. I ended up like getting a fucking, I think I got a blue wicker from the bar, just like put it in my coat and kept it lit. I was drinking, and we ended up getting into actual like Portlaoise town, which is rough and ready if you want it to be, you know what I mean? So I'm in there, and we get to this hotel. It's nice.
It's not the same as the other place.
It's not the same. But I was like, yeah, this makes more sense for us to be staying here. Do you know what I mean? No shed. It was a nice hotel, big lobby, all that buzz. But there was a lot more rastas and, shall we say, party individuals carrying on around the lobby.
Of course.
So, yo, blah, 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 we're booked in this room. Grand. I didn't even see the room. They were just like, we're just going to go straight to the festival and we're going to get lit. And I was like, yeah, but like, we're on at like 2:30 in the morning. Like, it's 6. We should probably get like dinner or something. I think we got like a bag of chips and moved on.
Okay.
Right? So get in there. Watch Roots Maneuver, watch loads of people. It was one of those festivals where you could like take your cans into the area and stuff. They had this mad little rave spot, right? Where there's like loads of trees that like kind of wrapped around each other that made this kind of like hut. It was like a shed, but like made it a wrapped around tree. I don't know how they did it, but it was big enough and everybody just went in. I looked in and there was one lad on the ceiling kind of wrapping his arm into the fucking like roots of the tray, just swinging from the top. And I was like, that's too spicy for me now. I love it, but I have to perform later.
Yeah.
If I was just a punter, I'd have been like, right,
Has to be done.
take the fucking armbands off, let's go swimming. You know what I mean?
I met one year, this on Society. I remember Hair Squad were playing Longitude one year. They were a Heineken stage. You know the little like the little things at the side of the stage.
Is the Heineken area or like the Heineken stage?
The Heineken stage, like the massive big stage.
The one that I played?
Yes, stage 2.
Yeah.
And your man Enoch climbed pretty high up on the thing. He was doing his verse. I'm like, God, I wanted to do it because it's so cool. Nothing bad happened. This looked great. I'm like, God, it's dangerous.
Remember I talked about No Doubt earlier?
Yeah.
I seen her at Witness years ago. Do you know what Witness is?
I don't think so.
Witnesses was Oxygen before Oxygen when it used to be a Fairy House and me and she climbed the whole main stage. You know those big rigs?
Yeah.
And she climbed to the very, very, very top and hung from both of her legs upside down, singing "I'm Just a Girl," and just kept going, "I'm just a girl." Like I was, honestly, God, that's why I have so much respect. That's why I have so much respect for No Doubt, bro.
Yo, that's actually, I need to go like rinse a No Doubt album
Straight
tonight.
up.
Fucking hell, man. Appropriation be sounding lit sometimes.
Anyway, so I'm like trying to keep it together, but I'm like drinking, partying, doing bits and bobs, right? Do you know what it was? 2 of the boys had a show on main stage like 9 o'clock. And then we were doing like the after rave, and we were on the stage for the after rave. And it was like the main stage was to the left, and it was in the big arena area. And as you walked, like there was a kind of lane to walk down towards by a river towards the campsite. There was like a left turn that would be big. It's like a half-ass car park. There was one stage down the end of it. And you know when you go to a festival, there's like usually a house on the estate. This stage was right beside the house. So when we walked in, we seen lots of people were in the garage and we were drinking, but like the stage was right beside it. I was like, that seems kind of stupid, but the house usually is turned into like the center for the festival, where like everybody's running like the logistics and getting artists and like green rooms and like tech and all that kind of crack. So I thought like whoever lives there is clearly not there right now. They fucked off and somebody's running the thing. So we get on stage. And we're playing. There's nobody there. We're just like rinsing rhythms, drum and bass, bit of house, blah, blah, blah. And as they're walking away from main stage, that fucking Shaun of the Dead zombie of like, bass line. Bro, the whole festival was in front of us. We got the biggest crowd of the night. And so much so that there was so much of a crush, they pulled up the front barrier and threw it, and it got passed to the back so they could be right at the stage. And we're going crazy.
Oh my God.
We do this mad show, and there's a guy who flew over from Jamaica to rap with us. His name is Mr. Williams. He's an amazing dancehall rapper. Done loads of bits and bobs or whatever, but he was a bit like Freddie, wearing sunglasses at night, not fucking with anybody. I was like, oh yeah, he was like, yeah, scene. You know, I want just like real kind of chill. I was like, alright, he's not up for the buzz, whatever. Probably just sees 2 white boys rapping over dancehall, doesn't like it. Fair enough, whatever. Try to make the effort. He's not into it. Keep it moving. I'm having a good time. So we started doing this show, blah blah blah. Then all of a sudden, the Elwyn from the house, who is staying there, and I mean, she's like 70, and she comes out and was like, "It's too loud now. It's too loud. You have to turn this off." And we were like, "We're clearly not. We're in the middle of a set." She's like, "You have to." And Orvie turns around and points at her. Says, "Come out." Points around and goes, "She wants to shut us down. What do you think?" What do you think the crowd's gonna do? Fuck you! Start fucking throwing shit.
Oh my God, his old lady!
And she's like, "You have to turn the power off." And I was like, "You turn the power off. See what they're gonna do, right?" Major, right? Ended up having a crowd diving, all sorts, right? The gig ended up, right? And there was this one mad elf up the front, and I mean, this fella, his bottom jaw was over his eyebrows. This fella was Majova.
On a side thing, can I say, I was speaking to someone last night. I was at the canals, talking to this girl, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't really do yokes or nothing anymore." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, cool, that's cool." And I was like, "Oh, why?" Just out of curiosity. She's like, she dislocated her jaw.
Yeah.
She did so much, she dislocated her
That's the
fucking
shit in
jaw.
it. It's not the MDMA, bro. It's the additives in it that make you fucking twist your jaw, man.
But like, there's chewing, then there's dislocating your jaw.
Bro.
I was like,
How much was she doing?
She apparently wasn't nuts. She just couldn't handle like the chewing
And
very
that's what
well.
I'm saying about certain drugs. Some people just, it's not their flex.
It's not for you. It's not by force, you know.
Anyway, MDMA was certainly for this young man who was talking to me before, and he goes, bro, come here to me. Let me talk to you. And I was like, just like, high fives from the stage after the show. Like, yeah, Sam, thanks for coming and all. Knowing that I might be doing this next year, build a rapport. And I high five this guy, and he high fives me, and there's something in the high five, right? You know them ones. You know when you shake your uncle's hand and he puts his middle finger in it, and I get the little fucking, you know them ones. And I was like, oh, there's something within my palm here. So I was like, yeah, and I whack out, and I looked at it, and I looked at it, and bro, the thing was the size of a golf ball.
What do you give you?
I didn't know first. All I seen was the shopping bag plastic around it. I says, no, mate, here, no, fuck that. You're not. Thank you, but yeah, he's like, no, bro, see you. You made me fucking weekend, and just fucking disappeared into the fucking mist. And I'm standing here with this mystery bag on. What? So I thought it was Hoover, and then I peel it, and the thing's fucking looks like bleeding brown sugar. And I was like, did he just give me a ball of gear, right? And I showed me mate, he was like, that's just like MDMA crystals. And I was like, cool. Tell you what, I'm gonna go back to the green room. I'm gonna leave it on the table. Somebody's gonna find it and have a great time, because whatever the fuck some randomer gave me at a festival is certainly, I'm not going near that shit. No way, fuck that. I was like, I'm full up on the fucking rum. I don't need this shit.
Plus, you're a Christian, so.
I'm a Christian. So, but we had a mad after party at this place, right? Where they were lighting fires all over the back behind the gaff, right? And I'm like twisted. People bringing out absinthe and like poaching and all. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Right? To the point that this one lad shows up and he has a wolf's, like, you know, like you have like a wolf's head hat. Yeah. He's wearing it with like a full fork thing. This country fan is like, I took the wolf's heart and he left me the pelt. I am now the wolf. And looked me in the eyeballs, and I'm going, how much am I after drinking of that poaching now? This is the kind of carry on around the bonfire. I'm with Mr. Williams, and this Jamaican dude is just sitting there. We're all just listening to tunes. He called over some word he thought looked like Pamela Anderson. She ended up not being Pamela Anderson. We got
sounds right.
You know, he was like, and your woman walked over, like I think he's seen the back of her, and like she turned around and like no hate or whatever like that, but I think she might have been a girl who had enjoyed quite a lot of partying in her life, and it had showed. And I think anyway, he brought her back in the minibus. He was talking to her, being like, "Oh, I'll get your number." Just trying to flirt with her throughout the night, and then like somebody was like, "Yo, your minibus is here. Get back to your hotel. Like, don't be staying here." We get in, and like we closed the door, and she like grabbed the side of the door of the minibus and like Terminator 2 style just like slid it back. I was like, no, I'm coming with you. And like I think your mom was like raging. He was talking to her all night because she stopped. So I was like, no, tell me about Jamaica more. And he was like, oh my god. We ended up going back to the hotel. I wake up the next day, brother, I haven't had a hangover like this. Like, this was biblical. Like, I didn't even know where I was. I didn't know what had happened. I couldn't have told you. Like it's only now I can remember from like Snapchat videos of what happened that night. Dirt. And then I have to get back into the back of a Jeep and drive all the way back to Dublin. I'm thinking, all I can think about, rasher sandwiches in me ma's, get in, big pint of fucking summer fruits right being, pint war, 2 fucking Advils and bed. Then I'm halfway home and get a text off Bitter Rock. Yeah, bro, we still go for that verse today. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, I have you booked in for the shootout today. You're supposed to have that verse ready for me. Instead of me doing the smart thing going, bro, I've just been on tour for 5 days. I can't do this.
No, firm it, man.
Framed it. I was like, I'll be there. What time are we talking? He says 3 in the afternoon. I says, I'll be there. So I'm saying to Bazik, can you drop me in Blanchetown? He says, fuck that, mate. I'm dropping you at the airport where I got you. I'm fucking in Ragor. I'm going home. So I fucking open up my weed transfer and I'm writing the rap as I get home, right? But my voice, as you can hear now how deep it gets after a few gargles. You imagine 5 days on it. Oh, my thing was like,
it was done.
And he's not in Blanchetown, he's in Scribblestown, which is
where?
Like exactly. You know what Ongar is?
Yeah.
It's further out than that. It's further than Turtlestown, but technically still in Blanche. It's where, you know where the 39A stops? It's where the 39A turns around and comes back to town. That's where his recording shootout was. Yeah. And I get in there. Alright boys, what's starting? Yeah, it's great. I get to the airport, had to get a bus to town to get the 39A all the way out. Meet him there, thinking, oh, hang out with them for a while. I might get a fucking glass of water. We'll just kick it. Did the verse, and they fucking were like, oh, see you later. But my voice was so fucked, I had to punch it in 1 bar at a time. I tried rapping it, but the 4th bar, the thing was just like,
yeah.
So I had to punch in 1 bar at a time.
Some Dr. Dre shit.
Like,
do your word.
Terrible. But I ended up finishing one of my best bars of all, like one of my best verses of all time. And it's on Lemotif Part 2. And I thought, because he'd sent me his version with him on it, and I was like, these bars are gonna smoke this young fella, yeah, fuck it. And then afterwards, he sent it back to me. He was like, "Oh, New Sense, you know the rapper New Sense? He's on it. He's bar for bar the punchline king." And he smoked me on it, and I was like, "I'm raging." I actually went out that day in Blanchardstown, and you smoked me like that. So that was me on tour to get back to do the most for a guest feature that made me no money when Irish rap was in the doldrums. But you can go back and listen to that. Le Motif Part 2.
No, that's a song for today.
Do you reckon? Because I could do your man,
No,
Mr.
do
Williams.
the
I
song.
don't want to be like my tune.
No, the song is legit about that verse. You can use the song. Man.
Okay, and you can do. You know what? You can like, because it's only a few seconds. You could punch it in, and this is why I love that verse, because I was like, I'm not animated anymore, but I'm Mango Matman, but I don't know I'm Mango Matman yet. I was very where Nicky was, having an album out, but I'm going to show you how nice I am on these bars. And you listen to that verse on that, telling you, that was some of the hardest shit I've ever written in my life.
Well, boys, punch it. Until next time.
Get it! It's great, as always, brother.
Until next time.
Salut.
We're trying with Avengers coming back from the murk, as though your merchant city's waiting on the casual work. So let me show you how this casual works. Keep a fresh fade and the yaddy that's in my shirt. Don't make this man go berserk. Put your cats in reverse. A young turd till I'm laying in a casket in church. Still family first. With my gang at the curbs. From the front of the flats to the back of the burbs. Still Air Max hoodied up. Nothing you can teach to us. Confession rocks the priest trying to plead with us. Devils in the skies try to deceive. And they're bringing nothing to the table. Now they want to eat with us. And that's what you get.